to be the best day. Walk down the street like it's a ballet. Being me, I got to say it's gourmet. Maybe cause I just robbed the bank. Why do you still think that I'm charming? Just here to crash another party. This toxin's feeling kinda starchy, but I like it. What a day to be me, like I'm on the silver screen in a high-speed car chasing. I could get away, but I love the chase, man. Everyone's after me, cause we're at the apogee, and they think they got me beat. There's just no escape, it's the perfect day, yeah, everyone's after me. Just here to make a little trouble. Won't use the door if there's a window. Why can't you see I'm not the hero? Not the hero, I'm not a hero, no. Kill all the lights in the casino. Just wanna get another angle. Can't trace the call, I'm on a payphone. You could try though. What a day to be me, like I'm on the silver screen in a high-speed car chasing. I could get away, but I love the chase, man. Everyone's after me, cause we're at the apogee, and they think they got me beat. There's just no escape, it's the perfect day, yeah, everyone's after me. What a lovely day, got the sirens coming my way in my black Aston V8. I love this game, it's the perfect day, got everyone after me. Like I'm on the silver screen in a high-speed car chasing. I could get away, but I love the chase, man. Everyone's after me, cause we're at the apogee, and they think they got me beat. There's just no escape, it's a perfect day, yeah, everyone's after me. Everyone's after me, got everyone after me. Everyone's after, everyone's after, everyone's after me.
Mission fucking accomplished. Goon Swarm is not a threat.
Good luck with your old dumb nullsec war stuffed out #1. Anunnaki Keep Star is next, and then come on.
There, and then you were just going to fucking magically jump into EVE Online in a system, and it was just going to load, and nobody was going to call you fucking stupid later?
There's an Eagle fleet that has dive bombed a Megatron fleet. This is the bravest shit I have ever seen in my life.
The best possible shot to do something to the Imperium, and you fucked it up.
I talked a lot of shit over the last couple months. It's time to fucking eat some. And I showed up here to eat shit. Like,
The reason that this keeps started and get contested, and I cannot make this up, is because of tie-dye.
Guess where goons are going to live after this war is over?
Earthland is 319, I believe, right?
Hell.
Hi, sick.
I can
People
tell you very
overreacting.
clearly, our Diplos didn't even fucking care. Like,
White daddy.
Looks like we went live.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Sunday show. I guess that's what we call it. I still haven't come up with a name for the stream that we do on Sunday, but we're all here.
Shit Talk Sunday, obviously.
It will be addressed, much like we're going to talk about. We have a lot to talk about today.
That's your segue.
We have so much to talk about today because the war has ended, basically, with the evacuation of B2. And all they are doing is posting on Reddit about how mad they are that they lost. So we decided that we were going to go live and give them a little bit of information about ourselves, how we feel, in a place where they can hear it. And anybody from those groups, you're welcome to come right here and talk to us about any of this stuff. We'd really like you to show up. Anyways, my name is Redline. I'm joined by a bunch of fantastic folks that are all going to introduce themselves from the top down, starting with Firefox.
I am relaxed.
And we've also got Luke Annanen. Hello, Luke.
I will also relax.
And Sandrin is here.
Hello, I'm a winner.
Sandrin's alive?
Yeah, I
And
was.
he's
Drag
alive.
Paphos in. Let's go.
We're also joined by Kasik. Who's here? Kasik.
Keyed up, but
Keyed up, nothing came out. And Dawn is joining us from the depths of time. Welcome back, Dawn.
Hello. I'm here to listen, mostly.
We're also joined by an unknown EVE Online pilot. Introduce yourself.
I'm just here to ask the everyman questions.
Everticia.
And then we've also got Gideon here.
Hey, lads.
And we're also joined by Johnny Trouser Snake.
Hey, I enjoy Thrashers.
And Carmen Gel.
Hello.
And Nada Red. Did Nada say anything? Or did I just miss it?
It's busy making a ribeye.
Busy making ribeye? Okay, makes sense. And Taphos is here as well. Hello, Taphos.
Hello.
And of course, I'm Redline, and we're gonna go ahead and get it started because I think you guys have some victory laps to take. So, Sandrin, did you have something you wanted to say just out loud to the world?
Fuck Arcadia's soul. Fuck Brave. I won. Teehee.
You're supposed to say Keck.
Oh yeah, Keck. Sorry, we put Keck in local. That's Arcadius' thing.
That is really cringe. Why would you even do that?
I don't know. Why would you make fun of someone's dead dog? Good questions.
Yeah. See, I was gonna say that's not nearly the worst thing that he's put in local. But he still gets to put things in local, which is strange. Strange to me. Especially for a classy group like B2, I guess.
Agree.
So, for anyone who hasn't heard, just so that we're all on the same page, the other day, B2, B3, whatever you want to call them, they announced that they are joining the Imperium. They are leaving their space, and they're gone.
It's now B3.
B3, like BEE?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's really silly. And why would they join the Imperium? And somebody in the chat saying they upgraded. This is probably the worst thing that they could possibly do. Am I wrong?
Wait. To the guy who just said they upgraded, they went from being an independent coalition to goon pets.
They were never independent. This is basically just formalizing the process. I think they're gonna have a bunch of their member corps leached. They're gonna have a bunch of internal conflict because people who had autonomy before will no longer have autonomy to make decisions. Essentially, just pets and entirely beholden to someone else.
Hey, don't kink shame.
They're going to be given tiny corners of space to live in and cause a bunch of ratting drama. They're going to feed a bunch of cats because they're like, oh, our space is safe, and then they'll get 100 bombers dropped on them.
Beehive will protect us.
They're probably going to have a bunch of leadership turnover, I think, as well, because a lot of their leadership who previously just made god awful decisions are now going to be told that they're making god awful decisions and kind of be overridden quite a lot.
I'm sure they're going to have a bunch of problems with like recruitment standards as well, where I know like the smaller Imperium alliances often, get shouted at and have to kick corpse because of lax recruitment standards, and that's kind of like B3's whole shtick. And the sheer amount of Blue Scouts that are going to be entering Delve, I'm not sure they're going to be too happy about.
I don't think that part is a particular issue.
Do you think we're going to complain that there are blues spying on us?
Yeah,
they
regularly do.
Nah, you can
this
just
is nothing
from
new.
experience. You can just send an account to Goonswarm and it will be accepted. It's not hard to get one in, so it's not really an issue if there's an influx of Blue Scouts coming in from that side. To be fair,
reference, the Sino that lit on the fire move up got burned, dropping 2 supers already, and stayed in Brave.
Okay, that's funny.
That's the quality here.
Yeah,
the standard rule within the Imperium for stuff like Blue Scout or Blue Tackle is the Corp or Alliance has to SRP that.
Correct. That is the standard.
The alliances in the north cannot afford to SRP that.
Yeah. Listen, Karma Fleet. So one time we had a blue Cyno, light, and trap, 2 Titans and 3 Supers, all of which died. It was
How many years ago was this?
4 years ago, 5.
Okay, so
Probably 5 years ago, right? But
all
Karma.
of those ships were worth less than 1 Titan now.
Okay, well, it was about 150 to 200 billion total because one of them was like.
So yeah, 1 Titan.
No, it was 2 Titans.
That's modern day prices, 1 Titan.
Right, you're right. Yes, modern day prices. But the thing is it was a Karma Fleet Cyno. It was it's actually a meme now.
Are you talking about the tackled rat or asking rattlesnake?
Yes, tackled.
So you got the number of Titans wrong. You got the corp that was wrong, and you got the event wrong.
Was this something you did for a chance, Nada?
This is a riveting conversation.
This sounds like it was a Nada
basically the corp wasn't like they'll work with them. Like if you if your corp is fucking broke, they're gonna just do a payment plan. It's not the end of the fucking world.
Okay, and when every corp has a payment plan, what do they
Yeah,
do?
but what if the whole alliance is broke? That's kind of where we're talking.
Then you don't spend a lot of money for it.
And
This is already expecting that a lot of people are not just switching corporation, right? I would see a lot of actual people switching corporation in the process. You can already see that some corporations are bleeding members into other groups, not just into Imperium. I'm expecting some influx into like the Russian side. I'm expecting something into the Stainwagon guys, into the Zerg alliances, stuff like this, because there's a lot of people in Brave that don't really want to be goons proper. So that will be interesting to see.
Well, I wonder if they'll just stay in the northwest.
Well, like, one of the things that is kind of being overlooked a little bit is that there's all this news about B2, but no one's really talking about what's happening to Fire. Fire is largely breaking apart. There's some elements of it that are, negotiating to stay in Pure Blind. XIX, I believe, and a large part of what was Fire is
really
actually going to join Stainwagon in Esoteria as well. They're not joining the Imperium. Hope their 500 bill got them a return ticket through Fountain.
Probably did. That's the sad.
I think they have talking. Yes.
Has there been any public statements about what groups within the former B2 coalition should do if they want to kind of come to terms with Pan Fam and Winterco?
I mean, the current public statement is I think they should just contact us directly, like the corp that just did, who I'm now giving access to the X47 Keepstar.
Yeah,
so the other day that Gobbins signed in a corp that decided to Gobbins personally welcomed.
I gave them
access
access to the
Keepstar.
So if you are in B2 and you don't want to have to go live in Delve or wherever they put you in period basis, talk to Gobbins or Nereus or Luke or someone. Very reasonable people.
You can keep the space in the north too.
And that is kind of the thing,
Yeah,
is that space is going to be open because, Luke, I've seen you say that after this space is all cleared, Frat isn't going to take it, right? So you guys don't really want anything to do with it, or what?
I've said publicly and repeatedly that no Panda I hubs will go down. And if a Panda I hub does go down because some corp decides to get carried away, I will personally go and destroy it. We are not taking any more space.
And so that does leave open the possibility of like a Northwest agreement, similar to how the Southeast is working. Since, you've got 2 blocks now, you can have a buffer, buffer regions on both ends of the donut.
So Twitch chat is saying Panda iHubs have already gone down, and someone's saying that you're just a liar that goes back on your word, Luke.
I don't think I ever go back on my word, to be honest.
Well, of course, Panda iHubs have gone down, like, over the course of the war, and Johnny was saying this earlier, you have to take them.
They just get taken back.
Taking an iHub and actually holding it long term is very different in the course of a war.
Oh, okay. Just move the goalposts.
No, what do you mean move the goalposts?
We never put one down. Oh, but I mean, just for a little bit.
Very bluntly, Dawn, during a war, if you kill someone's iHub and you don't put your own down, what's going to happen? They're going to take it immediately back. So you put down your own iHub, and when the war's over, you can
I'm just saying,
self-destruct it.
he did say that he would never put a Panda iHub down.
We're lawyering the words here.
Now we're backtracking a little bit.
Here's a good example.
I just want to be a pain in the ass.
Here's a good example. There is a reason why it's a PLI hub in ECTAC, not a Fraternity iHub.
It's funny. It's severance staging.
It's literally because it's funny we wanted to.
And because I didn't want to, right? And it is funny, though.
Arcadius' whole
Oh,
staging,
I'm
now owned by PL. God, the panic about that as well in the Brave Slack. We can't date in the high sec anymore. And then goons
Well, a
camped
couple
them out of
people
high sec.
tried. A couple people tried to get into high sec. Didn't
Goons
end
camp
very well.
Goons camp them out of high sec harder than Hordes camp them out of high sec.
Well, they're not going to camp them now.
They were camping them last night at like 0200 Red Lion. What I heard. Like there was literally goons camping these brave JFs into an Astra house, and the guy had to like log off because they was getting camped so hard. It isn't a meme either. Like I'm being totally serious.
Did no one tell goons that they were joining? Like
it was like neutral NPC JF alts, I think, so they didn't know, but it was quite amusing to watch unfold when we were doing our usual camp.
It just sounds like somebody didn't know who to talk
Apparently someone's saying that goons were indeed not camping the JFs.
There was an anchored bubble on the gate and like 50 thrashers sitting on it, so I think they were.
Oh no, they were camping the bubble. See, that's the
The
difference.
JF swatted the gate in the high sec.
They would have been totally safe to do so, I'm sure, would not have been shot.
Yeah, no, there wouldn't have been any problem at all. Just easy, smooth sailing. Smooth sailing. And so, people are talking about like how this isn't a really good deal for Brave for them to go to the Imperium. But I mean, Dawn, what are you guys actually getting out of this? This is a group that lost, 9 systems out of 3 regions and decided that they were done and they were just gonna leave.
This is a group who just
Getting more
shitposted their
friends.
way into getting evac everywhere for the last 8 years.
I thought having more friends was a bad thing. I thought the blue donut was bad.
We're not a donut. What would we be? Are we croissants now? Are we both croissants facing each other?
I think it's
Yeah.
croissant. Yeah.
It's kind of like 2 halves of a donut.
There's like a little bit of cream cheese somewhere in the middle. We do
Both
like a
sides
bagel.
there's cream cheese.
Croissants are probably like a more apt term because they're French. What do the French do? Surrender, just like B2.
Jeez. Come on, man. So if you give me a sec, I'm actually gonna
You
pull up
can't
the map and
insult
put
the
on
French like
screen.
that by comparison.
You absolutely can insult the French as much as you want.
I mean, what did the French ever do to anybody, honestly?
Be French.
What's wrong with that?
As a
There's
German,
nothing wrong
I
with
should
being
remain
French.
silent.
Yeah.
As a British man, I should
Tapas
remain
also
silent.
needs to remain.
Yeah.
Tapas and Gideon both have to remain silent.
We've got some history with the French, okay?
I mean, all right, I guess. So I do want to pull up on screen the map here. Kind of what the universe is looking like here shortly. And I think that this map does actually count like Pureblend and Declan as PAPI regions. Apparently PAPI's back.
Map.
Yeah, this is the Reddit map. I've got my own in the background. But
So the funny thing about that red line is I think at this point more than half the former PAPI alliances are now part of the Imperium, whatever we're calling themselves now.
Oh, grr, look what Pappy did. Meanwhile, like 10 Pappy alliances joined Imperium. It's like, huh?
I'm trying real hard to get this on the screen, but for some reason it refuses to.
Why do you think the people we were attacking never made like decisive moves to counterattack over the past like 4 months at all? I don't think we've had a defensive timer now for like I can't even remember how many months it's been.
When we counter their Cs, then they don't have anyone who enjoys playing the game.
You see, the way the game works is time zone tanking works both ways. So if it's middle of the night for me, at some point for you to attack me, it turns around and becomes middle of the night for you.
And I do want to address that, right? Like, I have to agree with the Reddit posts about time zone tanking. How dare B2 time zone tank in the EU time zone from all the brave panda warriors? Like,
It's not fair to make them alarm clock in the middle of the night to fight. It's simply cruel and unusual. I agree. All timers should be set to CNTZ.
Oof, okay. That'd be rough.
Write it downtime so that way you get that nice like adrenaline rush of trying to beat the timer in the middle of the downtime in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, that's what we call brown time.
Nothing gets your blood going when you're trying to warp back to grid and lock up a Keepstar before in like 10% tie-dyes. You watch all these ships logging in.
I mean, like actually doing stuff in the game might give you a bit more of a thrill than just being an F1 monkey in a
Would you consider that the more accurate map?
Is Dawn even an F1 monkey? Doesn't she just rock mine?
I do plenty of stuff, but I don't play as much as I used to. Kids.
Maybe you can show Brave how to do locust fleets. I'm sure they need the financial systems right now.
It's actually something I'm very excited about to potentially get to
Having
do,
more
so-
people in your mining fleets.
No, I want to.
Out getting 78 new blue scouts for Imperium space.
Does Brave even have any Rorquals left?
I've seen a total of 2 evac so far.
I'm sure there are plenty. Just
No,
like there
I'm-
was the 200 supers that Fire moved up north, there is more than you'd expect in every move up.
The last fucking Brave Oracle I saw, we were shooting it, and you know who they fucking bat phoned to come help them against the big old snuff? Fucking Fraternity. Absolute fucking orcs.
No, I am
Weren't
actually
you
excited.
helping Fraternity like 2 weeks
Panda is
ago?
merciful.
Yeah, but like they were no block, right? Fucking Brave are like a lot bigger than fucking Snuff, and then they're going suckling Fraternity's dick. You're like fucking 10 times bigger than everyone else. Like,
But they're the small guys. They only have 14,000 people in their
they're a bunch of fucking morons. And
I don't know how you can be mad at someone suckling at Fraternity's dick when that's what you do. Like, I don't get it. And
Well, we have to
there's
fight
nothing
for
wrong
it.
with it. There's nothing
I am kinda
wrong with
confused
it.
on what they're trying to like. Isn't all of like P Horde suckling on Frat?
Are we?
I'm gonna
Or
send you
vice
the
versa.
red line.
It
I'm
could go
gonna
either way. Honestly, maybe it's a 69 kind of situation going on here with them and Frat.
See, we've gone
I implore you to explain
further.
how.
We've gone further than I wanted to go with this.
Can we maybe avoid using the term suckling? Just give me like
Yeah,
that's an image
yeah.
I don't need to have in my head. Okay.
Yeah, I think
I
I think suckling is not working.
I sent you and Luke an image. I think this is more accurate of what it will look like.
Yeah, I'm making a.
Oh, you just sent me something.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
never mind.
exactly correct. That's exactly correct. I'll just
Yeah,
put that on the screen.
I think that's I think that's reasonably accurate.
I tried to cut off the consties.
Maybe cut off
obviously.
maybe that top line cuts off
Alright.
Declan. I think more than
Well, all right. So I'm just gonna keep working on this. I do want to just mention though, like whoever manages the sov.space map, you took init out of the Imperium, but
it's SFC. It's B2.
Yeah, it's SFC. I remember writing him about every single file.
oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Well, no wonder there's no.
You know he's
updates
quitting
to
the game, right?
coalition. No, I didn't know
heard
that.
rumor. I had
That's
heard
what
the
he-
rumor, but I don't know if that's actually
That
true.
is the rumor on the blog.
His coalition failed, so he has to fail with it.
No, I think it's the other way around. He quit the game and that put.
He paid off his mortgage.
Oh, his mortgage is paid off.
He has to
Really?
find gainful employment now that he can't rent out space and RMT the money. How unfortunate.
Actually, really good question. Is the Volta Renter Alliance getting to join the Imperium as well?
Probably
They, as far as I know, they are disbanding.
We had the whole list on our fireside.
Reform
No, he
Volta on
listed
it.
out alliances. He didn't list out their like alt alliances. Dawn.
Uh-oh.
He didn't say covert otters,
No,
but whatever the fuck that.
The Imperium doesn't allow
said,
renting, so I'll let you.
Okay,
you
what
know.
about the space and
Impasse?
Oh no.
Impasse question mark?
Oh
Impasse
no,
question
not
mark?
this.
Impasse question mark?
Don, you
Impasse
watch.
question mark?
Don, you watch
We don't
right
talk
in.
about- we don't talk about Dracarys. Just move
Aren't
on.
the Imperium allowing?
The last time we asked Kazan, he's like, I declined the comment and then just stopped talking for a few hours.
Do you guys allow RMT as well? Or do you not allow that?
We don't allow RMT.
So why is Boris Igon still your spy master in Alliance when he's been RMTing for fucking years? And ratted a bunch of people else in Goonside?
Well, if you've got proof, send it on over.
Proof has been sent. Then he ratted out other people to get away with it.
Do you have proof right now that we could put on the screen?
You just put him on blast publicly.
See, that's what it is. If you can't put them on
I
blast
don't have it
publicly,
on.
if you can't put them on
It's
blast
well known,
publicly,
though.
then what's the point?
Goons have it already anyway.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's not any of our jobs to catch people RMTing. We tried, but
yeah.
Cable
No, we can
Cable could
socially
still play the
shame
game.
them.
You know, I mean, you
It's like
could, but
Cable.
what's the
You
point?
gotta shame-
What's
like
the
Cable.
point? That like people outed like Milton outed Cable in front of everybody for being a filthy, dirty RMTer with
But
evidence.
everyone called him that for years.
Everyone, yeah, but exactly. Everyone already knew, but like there was no hard evidence. But then there was, and still no one cared. CCP didn't care. None of the players cared. Like everyone was like, "Oh, we're gonna stop
The
working with
players did
Cable for
care.
like
There
forever."
is one group that didn't care though, which was Brave, who put him on their AT team right after that happened.
Right?
They didn't know it was Tory.
No, they didn't. How? It was his name.
That
What do
was
you mean?
that was their argument, was they didn't know it was him.
Isn't his Discord tag literally like that?
It's a lot of effort for Brave.
Listen, some people just aren't very good at reading.
They're new players, guys.
They're called brave, not clever.
They're all just little noobers. They don't know what RMT
I mean, they're
stands
called Brave,
for.
but they're not particularly brave either, are they?
Well,
No, they're
no,
running away.
no, they're not. And that does kind of go back to, what I was saying, is that goons right now, or the Imperium, I guess, whatever you want to call them, they're getting a shell of a group. So they're just going to pick them apart, right? And all their members are just
I
going to
would like to
join
point out,
some Imperium alliance, some
Brave-
different one.
Brave said goon culture matches brave culture. The brave culture for the last year has been coping, playing the victim, being racist towards Asians, and
IRL harassment.
Harassing people IRL. Like,
So they're not wrong then. It's a good match.
It's a good match.
That's so sad. Why do people in the game even do that? And
Because
why
they're
is
not
it
winning
so
in the game.
rampant?
Because they care too much about a video game and winning in that video game. Like, the only reason Arcadius made that comment about my dog was
alright, someone
because
just
he
said that we
fed
have
them.
no idea what brave culture is. I would like them to enlighten us.
I was Brave's military too, I see. I feel like I'm qualified to comment on it.
Like, I think
It was like
half the people in this
years ago.
half the
Yeah?
people in this channel have current alts in Brave. Like, I
Yes,
used the Brave character to kill the Fire Supers in Titans. That's
confirm.
Brave culture.
Tess died like a year ago, realistically.
Tess is not dead.
Andrin, you are the most toxic leader. Damn right I am.
Te-
But I
tests
keep it in
are,
game.
Sandrin's not even that toxic.
Yeah, I'm not, but
Test the
and even
rising
then,
from
I
the
keep
ashes.
everything in game. I'm a lovely person.
I think Sin's a nice young man.
Just because I talk shit after mulching a Dreadfleet, I mean, it's in game.
I'm gonna.
So what?
Redline. I'm gonna send you a photo of Test rising from the ashes.
Look, man,
Tess
you
now
can
falling
you
Volta
can
for, like,
send
every
me
time
whatever
it's
you
like
want about
There you go.
Tess.
That's the photo of Test rising from the ashes.
I
It's
love Tess.
horrendous.
Hold on,
I
we're gonna
love
get
Tess too.
we're gonna get
Alliance.
Hachu in here real quick.
Yo, get a brave guy in here. Let's go.
Oh my
But
god.
if he comes in, you have to promise to be. Never mind. You don't.
Get
I'm not
Millen
gonna
in.
say gamer words. I
Millen in.
I
promise.
try and be nice to everyone.
Oh no, Millen.
Get Millen in.
No,
No.
I'm not gonna bring Millington.
I don't
Millington
think
isn't qualified to talk about
qualified,
this.
yeah.
He'd be like, "What if there was a frog, huh? A frog?
No, no.
What if
See where
Stick Hair
Okay,
was a
that
all right.
water has
Hatch.
a quantum
Juice,
state
bad
in
juice,
memory?
bad juice.
Maybe
I would
Millen
like-
can redo the Brave Dreadfets. They'd be better that way.
I would like to welcome Hachu. Hachu, right? Hachu.
Yes.
Hachu. Now,
You're sneezing. It's
are
okay.
you
Bless you.
the gentleman who said in the chat that we didn't know Brave culture?
Yes, I really don't think you guys do know Brave culture.
Could you clarify to us what exactly Brave culture is? Because the reason I ask is because that's what we've seen for the last while. Is
So,
basically people being
the
absolute shit.
the one thing that gets me the most is the one gentleman made the comment about Brave attacking Chinese individuals. I will literally say live in this room that every time I have heard it, I have put a stop to it. I just had a guy the other night say something about it, and I told him if he didn't chill the fuck out, he was going to be kicked.
So you're saying that it's so
like-
prevalent you literally heard it last night?
I don't know the last time I heard a racist comment in my alliance.
Yeah,
I
me either.
genuinely cannot point to a time that I heard one.
Because you kick people who do that because they're
problem
all human
is-
But for
beings.
you, it's last night is the last time you heard something happen. That's not a great record, pal.
But you can't
No,
control
so-
what individuals do. So
Yes, you can. You kick them from your alliance.
Yes, you say.
you kick them if
And
they
then
do
call-
something, but you don't preemptively kick somebody because
The amount
they
of
did
shit that
nothing.
people get away with in Brave without being kicked is hilarious. It's
So
laughable.
since I have been in leadership, I have only heard of 2 incidences that have taken place with people saying racist shit. And the one incident we've already taken care of. But this incident that happened last night was the first time I have heard it in comms myself. And it's not our people, like all of Brave pilots are good people. Yes. We all say stupid things at stupid times that doesn't make sense. And it just like they get angry and frustrated, yes, but it's not a
So,
justifiable
just to
reason
be clear,
do it.
right? People are too stupid at times to realize that Asian people are people, and you shouldn't make fun of them for that.
Well, you should never make fun of anybody in this game.
Well, then why do
That's
brave people do it? Routinely. Why does your lead FC Shatter do it and get away with it?
Shattered is a unique individual.
Oh, so he's uniquely racist.
Now, hold on.
I can't.
Let's not
Listen,
attack. Let's not go after Hachu for what other people do. Right?
He chooses to be in alliance with him.
Look,
I don't
he
know.
said he heard someone do it last night. Okay, and what action did you take with the person that did it last night?
I literally I yelled in open standing fleet comms, and I was like,
Did
we
you
don't
kick
say
him?
stuff like that in here. If you say it again, you'll be kicked off the server. And then I went to his CEO, spoke to them, got his CEO and 2IC involved. They went down, had a private chat with him. The dude apologized to everyone, and we moved on about our business.
So I am looking at the screenshot of a
Who
man in
promoted
Brave.
Now, before you continue, Firefox, I want to let everyone in the channel and everyone watching know that is how you handle that situation, right?
I'm just gonna post this in Cesspool General.
That is
The first thing I see is the Tiananmen Square protest of 1989.
Your mic is fucked, Luke. What was that?
That was insane, and it was at
Your mic is fucked,
200%
Luke.
volume. Holy shit!
That's the guy, by the way, a senior member of Urban Riders.
But,
Yeah, so that's
there's
a
also all
person.
the other concerns that aren't racially motivated, where like a year ago or so, Dunk was concerned trolling about Mav's mental health in Ahsoka. You know, there's shit like close allies
guy
like
trying to go to
Arcadios
Mav's house to
regularly
cause
just attacking people's real life in fleets, and you still fleet up of them. Like,
or there was people threatening to bomb Mav's house in Brave Standing.
No, the bomb was
No, that was Trainwreck and Jet. That was Trainwreck and Jet.
No, someone said they were going to bomb Mav's house as well.
That was in Sekka. That wasn't in Brave. There was a lot of weird comments about Mav. There was the guy who made up that story about walking in on Mav,
So
supposedly giving someone head at a party.
So if
when
all-
Mav has never met this man in his life.
So if all of these things are not Brave culture, then what is? I suppose is the question. What do you stand for?
Brave is honestly trying to be a group of individuals who want to just enjoy the game, have fun, and do what the game was originally created for. Unfortunately, we have some individuals who are former Brave people and that didn't stand for our values and didn't believe in what the culture is trying to be, of trying our best to stay as classy as possible at times. And I know we're not perfect. I'm not going to sit here and say that we are. We're a good group of gamers that just want to have fun and not get bullied around by groups that are significantly stronger than us.
Okay, you're not like the numbers are dead even. I have a spreadsheet comparing the numbers. The numbers are dead even in this.
Dead even between who?
Between
it's
that's
dead
Imperium
even
and
between,
Imperium
it's
versus
dead even
Frat
between the
plus
north and the
Horde.
south, right? It's not dead even between Frat.
No, I was like, no.
Right,
Like,
no,
if we're
but
talking about
but that's
Brave,
not
Brave
been the
is
conflict
significantly
for-
smaller.
That's not been the conflict for like a year, and there's also like
So let's, instead of actually looking at a spreadsheet, because we're not all computer math nerds here.
let's feely craft and just pretend that this is true. Then
So realistically, Sandra, and if you look at the actual statistics here, the actual statistics that matter, for a year and a half, Brave held up.
okay, I
Frat.
don't care. That was in the past.
Okay, let's look at
You don't
statistics.
care about facts.
Brave versus Teishu. Teishu win. Brave versus literally anyone else. The other people win.
My favorite Brave eviction was when they shitposted Black Legion on Reddit to the point Black Legion evicted them from Fountain after Goons gave them the region for free.
When was that? Like
2015. W Rush started shit talking like Ips on Reddit.
No, I don't doubt that it didn't happen.
They
I just didn't know when it
immediately
happened.
vanished.
So Hachu, you were while you were giving your statement there, you mentioned that you want to play the game that it was designed to be played. How is the game designed to be played? Just out of curiosity.
Well, I think a bunch of independent groups being able to exist and enjoy what they've created, and then not have to split the game exactly. Like at one point a year and a half ago, it was there were 4 big blocks. Now there's only 2 big blocks. Like, why can't we have 50 big blocks? I mean, I know we don't have the numbers
You are
overall
welcome.
in the game.
Can you name the 4 big blocks?
Well, yeah, there was Winter Coalition,
Wanna
there was
go?
Fire,
Let
there
him
was
name him.
Goons, there was
Shut up, Brett.
PanFam. Why?
So we have
Why?
Winterco,
Why?
PanFam, Fire, Goons. Fire lived with
Dude,
B2
please
now.
stop that.
Don, you're gonna have to turn on push to talk. That's cringe.
Please mute your phone. It's a movie theater.
The game
Sorry, I
would
forgot
also
I had a
be more
timer
fun
going.
in like regional conflicts as opposed to north-south conflicts, or even, I mean, obviously Constellation would be ideal, but
Look,
you
why
just
don't
don't have
Brave
enough
fuck
people.
off to the southeast? Why don't Brave
Even-
fuck off to Losac where they can't get evicted?
Even when the game, say, go back 5-6 years ago, even when the game was 80,000 players, we didn't always have a war, a big war where everybody in the game was involved. It was in little unique regions here or there. I mean, now we have
So don't join
It's
these wars.
almost like there are
Brave
mechanics
opted
within the
into
game
this.
that make distance not matter and
Yeah,
destroy
some,
all of
some sort of gate or something like that.
Daily reminder: Brave of their own accord joined the war against Frat.
And even then,
Frat didn't declare on them.
if you
They
ignore
declared on
that
Frat.
fact, there's also Horde kicks Fire out of the space, says we're pushing, like, these guys are not our allies anymore, let's work on breaking up this big donut. And then what happens? They immediately get consumed by B3. Like,
Who have now
B3
been
has as
consumed by
much
Imperium.
contributed to this problem as anybody else in the game. They are not innocent.
To be fair, Sendrin, like you have to think about an underlying mechanic problem here or as well, right? Like
I know, but I'm just saying,
let's
I'm
go
not
to this
arguing
point in
about the
time,
mechanics.
right?
I'm saying
Yeah,
that B3 is equally the problem as anyone else, and they pretend they're
Yep.
not.
But we should think about, like I said this earlier before the stream started, we shouldn't always blame the player. We should look at game mechanics that lead to some certain aspects, right? Let's take this Fire eviction. Fire was evicted in the southeast, and they were at the tail end of the Horde projection to the south and the Imperium projection from the east. And the only place where they thought they could move to now, and they got evicted now there again, was to the northwest, join up with Brave to maybe have some superior numbers that will hold the space. But now they got evicted they moved to the west end of the PAPI projection and the north end of the Imperium projection. There is no space in Nullsec for a group of Fire and Brave of that size to hold their own space. And that's an underlying problem that's
and now
within
there's
the
the
game.
southeast.
I don't want
And
to
it has
stop
nothing to do
you,
with
Gideon,
left side
but
and right side.
Gideon, calm down. I don't want to stop you, but we have a Fire 2 IC in the channel.
I mean, he
So-
said it correctly. That I mean, I was one of the guys pushing for going north, so it's exactly the reason.
It was so
like,
you could
the
easily
idea
get
was to
over
set
the
up.
Frat, right?
The idea was, I mean, we got bullied around in the south, right? Basically, I mean, what were we?
And that's your
outnumbered
own
like?
fault for your alliance and coalition RMTing literally everything he's ever had.
I
all
have
the time.
never RMT this thing. I mean,
Yeah,
if you
well,
wanna-
fucking Constantine has.
instead.
Where was all the DRF money to defend themselves against skill
I-
yourself? And where was all
I
the
don't
money
know.
to spend fire money to spend yourselves against fucking
Captain
Init and Horde,
Tartarstan?
when you've been sat there crabbing for a better part of a decade?
I have not said that for a decade. I mean, if you want to attack me now, it's fine. But
I mean,
I
it's
don't-
coalition.
Well, I have not. I have not RMT anything or supported any RMT ever. If,
No, but
if
your
RMT
alliance has.
happened,
No, he's in Horde now.
I am in Horde. I mean, I've been in XIX for like, I don't know, how long was I there? For 2 months, 3 months?
DRF were at least pulling in 300 billion from drones a month, because that's what fucking Hard Knocks were able to get out of renting it a month. So you guys
I
must have
wasn't
been
playing
pulling
the
in
game.
pretty bad. No, but the coalition was.
I mean, it's a different coalition. But yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's still led by Constantine. It's still XIX shitters.
I'm not saying that didn't happen, but whatever. Can we get back on point? Like that. What we were doing
mechanic
is.
problems, yeah.
1 second. We were just being bullied around, right? So our idea was we go north, we meet up with B2, and we form a block that maybe can resist one of the two. You know, like we looked at the numbers and it looked. I mean, if we at the start it looked like that. We had like what 3 or 4 fleets on every form up, so it looked like we would be able to contest at least one of the blocks without like major support from either. But yeah, it just petered out. You know, just numbers went down, people went AFK, and yeah, no leadership basically.
Casimir is here. Let's talk about Impasse, baby.
Well, and I did update the map on the screen just to give you kind of like an idea of what it's going to look like, assuming that no one takes the space that will be left behind by B2 evacuating. It'll be an
You
opening
can
there.
already make a correction because Providence is already Imperium space. Red Alliance dropped the Keepstar, and there's no way Red Alliance drops a Keepstar without Imperium support.
Are we with Red Alliance still? I thought we.
Your
What
guys
I-
are
what
projecting
I-
and killing 40 Zars with Sigma Grindset and Goonswarm at this moment. They are the top of Z kill, and you can just click the kill meds. So
Don,
yes, you
your
are.
goons have been like very good friends and close to Red Alliance for
Yeah, we usually
literally
are.
15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Red
no, I know.
Swarm,
It's just I could.
Federation, all that
Yes.
stuff.
Okay. Yes, I know. That's why I was like, but I couldn't remember. I know that there was one group that we were like, no, but that might have just been Civ Squad. I can't remember all of the Russian groups we worked with.
Yeah, we're not.
Redline, do you have anybody from Horde in here?
Hi, Kaz.
I do have folks from Horde in here, quite a few of them actually, yes.
I'm a newbie.
So I have a genuine question. A long time ago, and up until this current war, Horde used to be the alliance that would come in and say, literally, okay, we're going to drop on you today. And then the next day, they'd go drop on the same people they were supporting the day before. Then they would drop on the other guys again. Now that this war is done, are you guys going to stop being basically Frat's bodyguard?
This war isn't over.
By them?
This war isn't over.
This war is not over.
Oh no. But I
We
put
are
in the
not
title,
done.
the war was over.
We're not done.
We're not done.
You don't just get to lose the war and be like, all right, guys, we lost. Please stop hitting me.
No, that's not what's happening.
So what's the future plans?
You'll find out. But
No,
even
why
then,
don't you say it
before
now?
this, you know exactly why. Even before this war happened, we were not blue to Frat.
Sandra, you have been after Brave every day since you got kicked out.
So I would say the relations between Horde and Frat have probably never been better than they are today. So if the Imperium's goal was to push Pan Fam and Frat together again post World War B, you definitely succeeded doing that.
But Pan Fam and Frat were neutral up until this war happened. Now we're friends again.
No, but hold on though. But that, of course, they were neutral, but that didn't prevent Norris from hiring BFL out. Right?
No, of course it didn't.
A lot of his dirty work.
Neutrals can
That
pay
happened-
neutrals.
Yeah, that happened
I'd hire us
long
too.
before.
But
let's
isn't
not
that the
leave
same
out
argument
key
about
pieces of history.
But isn't that the same argument about hiring neutrals during World War B2 to harass your enemies, right? Like mercenary things have always.
Were there any
Why
left
are
to
you guys
hire?
acting like there's
Horde would definitely hire.
Kazania, my corporation had an offer that was discussed within our leadership, and we have a corporation that joined Goonswarm for
Then
mercenary reasons.
I
so-
am impressed by your non-membership in PAPI. There were very few of you during that time.
Redline, take a look at what I just sent you.
I think Ortiz is
Okay,
going to raise a
but-
good point, which is, can people not just play the video game with having some fucking divine manifesto?
Why do you think?
What is
that
your
gives
casus
a
belly,
shit
bro?
about your rules? Like, no one gives a fuck. If someone wants to do something, they're gonna do it, and then you have to beat them. That's the video game that we're talking about, right?
Does anyone else just enjoy PvPing with their friends?
I mean, yeah, but like it seems to be all the people that are like decent seem to enjoy actually playing the games, and then you have the fucking moron boomers and all the no blocks who are like, well, I have to go to war because they're the renters. That's the only reason we're fighting. Why would we shoot them otherwise? And those fucking morons are just like the reason why the game's like a pile of shit.
That's you can't say that. That's rude.
I mean, it's not wrong though. When you have the brave people like, well, we just want to sit and play our game. It's like, well, other people want to play the game too, and that involves kicking your shit in. So deal with it.
Hachi, are you sure you want to talk about this meme that you sent me?
I mean, not a they.
I just thought
they
it was
dealt with
fitting.
it.
Oh,
They dealt with it as long as they felt like they could, which turned out to be a good long time, right?
I mean, they've been dealing with it, but they also just don't want to deal with it themselves, and they'll just trample all players ever attacking them like they did the tissue. Like, they're not people that actually want to play the game in any meaningful way. They want to sit in back and build sandcastles. It's like loading in the fucking competitive game StarCraft 2
That
and
is a
saying
part
like,
of the game,
no attack until minute 15.
I mean,
Nada, that's
they're
a part of
allowed
the
to
game.
not
Like, building sandcastles in EVE is a
Yeah, but the problem
huge
is
draw
that is,
for
right?
people.
It's like
Yeah, but
basic
there's no
game theory.
problem
If someone
with
else
that.
wants to attack, they can attack.
If you
That's
don't
also
want
part of
your
the game.
sandcastle to be attacked, you go to HiSec. And
Let-
even
let
then,
me
you
submit-
can still be attacked.
Yeah, I mean, let me submit over the course of the last decade that as Brave, in particular, has tried to build their sandcastle, often they're on the frontest line of getting beat up by people who are much older and much bigger, and so have consistently failed to become that fourth power block on their own.
That sounds like
in spite of-
leadership incompetence to
So
me. Everyone else has managed it.
I mean, that's literally just a fucking skill issue.
Also, what is this revisionist history
Uh,
bullshit?
They do it to themselves is the issue.
Well,
Like,
Brave was literally in a position where they were forming like 800 to 1,000 people alongside their friends like a year ago. They collapsed because they're shit, not because of any external pressure.
I don't think Brave wants to be the leader of a coalition in that aspect.
So why do they join them repeatedly?
Why don't you just go to Losec?
And
The
and this
problem is with
meme
the
that you
game and the
sent,
way
Hachu. So
Why does-
we'll talk about that. Let me pull it up on the screen here.
Everyone
'cause
seems to be
it's
obsessed
topical.
with having nullsec space as well, at the same time as complaining about how it's worthless. So if it's just a vanity thing, who cares?
Yeah,
The thing is, people want to have the space flag, right? And there are game mechanics, for
You
example,
can't
for my
defend
group.
it, you don't get it.
So
There are game
Hachu,
mechanics.
you are still maintaining that Brave wanted to be an independent coalition, which is an oxymoron, by the way.
For the longest time, we wanted that, yes.
So then, why
That's why we moved to our
why
current
did Brave join the war then? Like, you could have just not joined the war, but you did. You chose to come up and fight with Volta and Scum and all those other
Because
idiots.
they probably saw a fun opportunity of, hey, there's a war, there's some people fighting nearby, let's join in.
Completely counter to what they want.
Volta and the B2 group are considered friends for us, and our friends needed help, so we wanted to come in and help. Now, to fight
So
against
you joined the coalition willingly?
No, we weren't joining a coalition at that point. We were just helping out our friends. It became a coalition because we got forced into a corner.
What did helping your friends involve you doing?
And how exactly would you be forced into corners in that kind of a situation, though? That doesn't make
better-
sense.
better-
Sounds
no,
like
one-
a classic case of you fucked around
You
and then
guys-
found out.
You guys are
Is a
incredible
better
at
question-
making it sound terrible that Brave went to bat for Volta after Frat
No,
was going to
they are
roll.
plenty. They are completely
There's-
welcome to do that, but you can't
Yeah.
play the victim when the consequences come around.
Right, yeah, that's... I don't think anybody's saying that going to fight was bad, but going to fight and then being like, wow, we had to go fight afterwards is really ridiculous.
Volta wailed on Fraternity crabs for years, like giving them loads of headaches. So they've got every reason to want to go and fuck them up. And like as soon as they want to set up a SOV group on their doorstep, of course they're gonna fuck with them.
And that's what happened, right? Like we
Focusing
left
on
we
crabs
left
and shit is one thing, but then as soon as you say that you're focusing on the side, then oh no, hold on a minute. That's like saying all of a sudden, oh shoot, with AKC changing things, that all of a sudden that us going whaling with a variety of people in Delve is somehow the same.
So what effectively happened was Frat left the drones. We left Oasa, moved to Vale and Tribute because we didn't want to be in the middle of nowhere. There was already a grudge between Frat and Volta because Volta and what was Trigger Happy at the time deployed up to Venal during World War B2 and harassed our SOV and harassed our structures from Venal while we were still in Peregrine Falls and Oasa. Once Brave had moved in, and to be fair, we helped Brave move in. We guarded their supers. They were safe in the
sold them a
Ojanen
Keep Star.
We sold them a Keep Star for quite cheap price. We told Brave, we have no beef with you, but we are going to follow through on our grudge with Bolter and Blood. Like many other wars in EVE, right? We would prefer you to stay out of the way. We don't want the space. You can take the space afterwards for all we care. And Brave decided not to. That's fine. That's cool. That's a war, right? But Brave being beaten up on against their choice wasn't materially what happened, right? They elected to defend Volta and Blob when we told them we have a grudge to execute and we will execute our grudge. And which alliance in the game has not executed a grudge before against other alliances? PH has, Goons have. That's normal, right? That's how wars are started.
Sure, but I maintain still it constitutes a further escalation to then say we're going to bring in the heavy hitters from this other coalition, not other alliance, but this other coalition that you were neutral
Heavy
to.
hitters.
Casimir, I'm a newbie who likes thrashers, okay? That's a gross mixed characterization in my group.
I'd also like to note he classified people like Hunting Deity as big hitters.
No.
No,
That
he's
guy
talking about
stays in
BFL.
MJ Tech, right? Yeah, I'm talking about BFL, right? That was my point. Is that still is an escalation of the war, which again, that's fair enough, right? But it leads. There's a successive step on either side in this chain of events.
Yeah, but only one side is playing the victim.
And actually, I agree, right? But there were, that went in both ways, right? Like, let's be honest. The entire reason why Fire was invited to the north was because they could time zone match Frat to a degree, which is an escalation on the other side, right? So I agree there was an escalation thing that went on here, but it's not just on one side.
there's an aspect there of where the fuck else were they going to go, but yes.
Lowsec, NPC space.
I mean, they could have tried to defend their stock for a
Right.
bit longer, maybe.
Yeah, they could
but
have
I
actually
agree.
tried
Yes,
to
because
defend themselves.
Lowsec is so much fun.
It is.
It is.
I mean, Dawn, if you actually
Why don't
enjoy
you go
playing the
there?
game, it's quite fun.
I don't live in it because I'm enjoying my time in Horde. Like, if I had a character in Big Ab for the longest time.
Yes,
Like,
confirmed.
I enjoy
Characters all
Lowsec.
over the place.
Sandbin Stone.
It's big
Or-
dick, dude.
Lowsec had a sick fight
Dig
last
dick
week over some Satir, didn't they? And
That was
hola.
like 2 days ago,
No,
wasn't
that
it?
was 100
Lowsec's
billion
having a
last
grand
year.
time these days.
Night.
Lowsec's great fun. Like, there's plenty of places for people to go. They just
Killed
repeatedly
100
choose
bill
to
of image
join.
shit last night.
Yeah, they just repeatedly choose to join
They were
blocks,
throwaway
and then
Nada,
no one's forcing you to make these decisions. Like, if
Like,
you don't
I
want to
agree
do it,
that
don't do
there's a
it.
lot of people that would be better off going into Lowsec, right? Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to argue that point, but the thing is, people also want to go into Nullsec because they can shape the space around them, put down
Would
their
you
own
say
structures, and
Snuffed Out
remove
doesn't
people
shape
from
the
their own
space around
space.
Rakapass?
There's less
Personally,
things you can do, right? And if you're a group like Snuffed wants the PvP, Snuffed wants people to drop on them. If you're brave and you have limited capital capabilities, why the fuck they have limited capabilities at this point in time is another question, but they currently have them. People can just stage next to you and there's just nothing you can do because there are NPC stations around you. So it is a little bit disingenuous to just
There's NPC spaces
suggest that idea and not
stations in
think the idea through.
Pureblind and most of Nullsec.
Yeah.
That doesn't change.
Yeah.
Except for
But
the
they had NPC
drones.
space.
There is NPC
They
space
had
that leads
access
to
to space
drones.
that is not directly
The
hittable, right? Or at
4
least
jumps away.
No.
Dawn, do you mean the drones that are RMTing every day?
Yeah. Well,
Who's
actually, they
RMTing
don't-
in drones? Do you have?
they
Are
don't
you
RMT
saying
every day.
Gobbins is an
It's-
RMTer?
It's just Cope, Sandrin.
I know. That's why I'm pushing on it, because
Why don't you show us any kind of proof this is happening whatsoever?
I mean, yeah, but
guys, that
No,
RMT
real
discussion leads to nowhere. Because you can go into either space. I had a corp member that has an account in Pandemic Horde, went one way through a Fraternity space and just reported everybody that he saw, and he had 37 thank you for reporting mails. I had the similar experience going through Dracarius space and looking at the thank you for reporting messages coming in, right? So stop throwing that shit around each other. Both groups have these members in their alliances. The question is leadership involved or not? That is something that you can discuss on another time. But you don't like throwing that on line members is just stupid.
I think it's worth pointing out that, there's no NPC stations in the southeast either, but no one seems to be complaining about that.
That's because it's really fucking shit space.
Exactly. So
So
it's almost like it's
drones!
not about the NPC stations. Just it's
No,
about
no,
dudes
it is
having a
about the
big
NPC
fucking
stations.
cry.
Every region should be in range of NPC stations.
I agree. Yes, they should.
Homogenization of space is boring.
Yep, that ship went out the window with fucking antiplexes and crab beacons.
I
Get rid of those
also
two, then
agree
you
that
can have
antiplexes
NPC
are
space free
bad.
drones.
I also
There is
agree that
really-
antiplexes are bad. I think antiplexes is the problem, not the lack of NPC space.
There is
If
a
every
really
space
strong
had
case.
if every
Because
space
it's-
had reasonable access to NPC space, it would just be a bonus for Horde.
What?
I
What are you talking about?
No, wouldn't it be the? It'd
That is
finally
some
make Horde
massive
like actually, like
Horde are in a situation where they can let someone as dumb as what's his name, Alcoholic Satan, run their crab group and not have any consequence of it, and that's due to NPC space not being in drones. You get rid of that, then you get rid of him as the leader of that group. NPC space is fucking or no NPC space. There's the biggest bonus Horde has going for it.
It's a balancing discussion too, right? One region that is a little bit out of range of NPC space is not the biggest deal in the world, but like something like the southeast, those regions are all spread apart at least. But yeah, there's a good case for NPC space down there somewhere that is closer than Cursed, because it's a fundamental balancing tool. If you have too much space that just isn't out of range, it's impossible for people to get at that in the way that the game is balanced around, right? That people need to be able to be hunted when they're at work crabbing.
That's so it's like in terms of invasion, like if you want to invade drones, there is definitely NPC space that you can
No,
stage
I'm not-
from to
I'm
do
not
that.
talking about
It's not
invasion,
invasion,
no,
it's
it's not
harassment.
about that.
I know, and then harassment. Okay, everyone should have a dread ult. Safe lock a dread. You're in range of literally
Yeah, no,
200
that's
distance.
unreasonable because no other area of space has to deal with that.
Yes, they do. We just
no,
talked
they
about
do
how
not.
other areas of space you do.
No one cares about those areas of space, right? And NPC
You only
space
care because Horde lives there.
NPC space should be in those regions as well.
You
I'm fine
only
with
care
that.
because
I mean,
Horde
yes,
lives
the
there.
Like
fact,
Branch
the
Latino.
fact,
I
the
want to
fact
hear
that
you.
a crab empire has grown up in 8 regions of space, all of which are within jump range of each other, but not within range of NPC. Yes, of course, that is why people care about it, right? That like you have created the situation where people care about it.
Then go invade it.
It's not
Invade it
about invasion.
or
It's
safe-
about It's
Okay.
about the game being balanced around mechanics where in other regions it's balanced around NPC space existing so that people can bring stuff there and stage there in a way that is sane and doesn't have people logged off for
you
months
saying
at a
having a
time just to get a set of kills.
I
Are you
mean,
saying having a dreadnult is insane? How out of
Yeah,
touch
yeah,
are you?
Sandra,
Sandra,
Someone shouldn't be. People should not be
All right.
required to have 4 or 5 paid
Sandra,
accounts to be able to attack.
Oh,
you
I mean,
guys.
they definitely
It's
should, right?
bullshit.
Like,
no,
that should
that is
definitely
not
be mandatory.
required. There
Oh,
should be
No.
some
In my group it
space.
is, because we're not toxic
Still,
like your group.
yeah, but it's still
I'm saying,
about...
but it's not. It should not be a game requirement. Okay?
Yeah, but like,
Yes, if your
Don,
group
all right,
wants to have that,
Don,
sure.
all right, Don. Let's be honest.
Absolutely,
In the
yeah.
conversation of who's going to do dread bombs and drones, I don't think goons are really in it, right? You guys don't actually do
What
anything.
are you talking about? We just did one like a few weeks ago.
No. You have a little sig of shitters and those stuff, right? Not like proper dread bombs. That's
Oh,
our
I'm
thing,
sorry.
not yours.
I'm sorry. We don't have 150 dreads just hanging out. in the
It was only
drone
3
space.
dreads, Don. It was only 3 dreads on
Can you
that.
guys
Are you complaining you don't have the
drones?
numbers that Snuff has?
Forget about goons. Who is doing it in drones?
It's not
Why are
physical
they
for
not
a
doing
human.
it?
They can
They're
do
not doing it
dreadnought.
in drones because they're too incompetent. Not because it's impossible.
Well, let's drop dreads on this max tank Aeon. What could
Let's
go
play the
wrong?
game of when was Goon's last proper dread bomb?
Well, we're not there yet, so.
For
In
Take?
Tama last night.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get
Fortake is
someone out who remembers like the fucking Halloween war to talk about that sort of shit.
That one went very poorly.
I think it was the one in Royer, not if you want an honest answer. The one where the GOTG Titan FC bounced and he dropped all the triage on him, and then Goons went, "Oh, there's a bunch of Titans and no triage," and jumped in that. It was in RIR in Pure Blind in like 2018.
I remember. I was there. I was
there too, friend.
I think we should all be able to agree that the investment in a dread pilot that has to be logged off for a period of time and not accessible in someone else's space is vastly different than if you can log them off and put a jump clone on an NPC station. Why are we even debating that?
My dread pilot.
Sandrin just wants to feel better about himself.
My dread pilot in FWSD does not have range over even all of Delve. It doesn't even cover all of Delve. You have a dread pilot.
What are you talking about? FWC doesn't hit like 5 systems.
You can jump clone him.
Okay.
Good God.
There's literally STAC 6
Let me finish
and
my
ZXB.
point.
Sandra, you're just coming across like an idiot when you talk like
Yeah,
this.
this is pretty dumb.
When
This
you're
is
in drones,
cringe.
you're in range of literally 200 systems.
I think
is
there
that
is-
not a difference in balance?
Right, I
Do you
think there is.
understand the difference? Like,
I do understand the difference, and I'm saying it's a
Locators.
fair difference.
I mean, you're in the dumbest conversation
Sandrin,
I've ever heard.
if we put a dread in drones, right, and you locate it, you know where it is, right? If
Yeah.
you put a dread in NPC Delve, you can also jump clone out and go on your merry way and sit and run your little crowd
If you put a
beacons
dread
and NPC
in
or
drones,
in
do you
fucking
think we're going
drones,
to stop
and then
putting
you can be there in
capitals in
instant.
space? No. Like we know that I knew those big cap dreads were there.
So this fucking dumb, right?
You've gone from like.
I mean, if
being
you're
in
just
one
going to
group
not be
arguing
honest
to
about the
them.
countermeasures, Sandra, and
I
then
have
we
no
can't
idea
have
what
this
what is
conversation.
even being said at this point. You're all talking over each other.
You're just gone from arguing for the group you're in. You've joined a new group, and you're automatically out. You can't see from any other.
No,
point of
I think
view.
it's completely fair. I don't think homogenization of space is good. I think antiplexes are the problem with drones. I don't think
And
the
crab
lack of
beacons.
NPC
Get rid of crab
spaces.
beacons.
Crab beacons are dog shit income anyway. I don't think they're
Get
a
rid of them.
problem right now. Yeah, you can get rid of them for like how like that. The income from them is awful.
Let's talk about Rorqual's doing crab beacons and how silly that
Yeah,
kind of
Rorqual's
got
are
it.
really dumb for crab
Panic
beacons.
needs removed from the fucking
Oh,
game.
wait, Johnny, did you see the new Dracaris way to run crab
Yeah,
beacons?
the 10 myrmidons.
I have not.
I'm gonna link you a screenshot, and I want your opinion on it. You're not gonna like it. I'm sorry.
But if you put dreads and drones, people are still going to undock. Like there's like, I don't see the problem.
Yes, we
there.
want them to adock. Like
Okay, so
Which
yeah,
is
put dreads in our
generally
space and
good
attack
for
the
the
people that are
game.
still
I would-
undocked.
it.
Large ships undocked in space is good for the game, and I think you should all understand that.
It is absolutely
Check your DM.
bullshit.
Sean.
Can we say boson? Can we all agree that boson should be buffed again and Hogon should
Oh
be
my
put
God,
back in
yes.
Titans?
Boson
Absolutely
again.
on that part.
Can you drag Geordie from the?
Bring back the
chat?
Titan Hogguns again.
Oh, elite small
I'm glad
gangers.
Jordy's here. Just time for this clear self-reformation.
He can keep everyone humble.
Can we drag Millen in?
No.
No.
Where the fuck
no.
is Millen?
Let's
Get
let
this
Geordie
man in
speak.
here.
Let's hear what Geordie wants to say.
I think that Goonswarm are retards. Do not put space in Dronelands. It's so unbelievably stupid to want to balance the game around homogeneous geography. The more NPC space that is put into deep nullsec, the less it matters. Being able to move away from places that you can get staged on is strategically important and relevant, and changing it so that you can dread bomb some oracles, very dumb.
Well, the only opinion that matters is the Twitch
Is
chat's
mine.
opinion. So there is going to be
Jordy
a
was
poll
typing in
the
Twitch
chat.
chat. Thank you.
Yeah, there's a poll
He
in
was
Twitch
the
chat, top of the thing. You can vote. Should there be NPC space in drones?
I mean,
But you have to
Jordy's
be
not wrong
honest.
in principle. Like, being able to move away from space where you can get staged on is important. But unfortunately, they have 8 or 9 regions all stacked up within jump range, which is unbalanced in a different way, and that makes it a problem.
Hasanir, that's such a weird statement as
Yeah.
somebody who hunts there and has hunted with snuffed blobs as well, right? Like, it's an upside and a downside as well, because the thing is, I can hide in one of 200 systems and reach 200 different systems.
How can you
So
hide?
the
Do they
likelihood
not
that we
honor?
are on intel is very, very low in drone space, because we can find an empty system and hide ourselves there. The
But,
same
okay.
cannot be said about Delve, because there are like 50 systems, and that we are in intel
Okay.
is pretty much a given.
But are you not getting enough kills that they just locate your pilots?
Okay, if I
No,
locate
you
his
can just
pilot,
set it up and
okay.
do it right, and it's not really hard to move a blobs fleet through drone space because
It's
there are
not that
200
hard, right?
systems. Yeah, like it's a double-edged sword, right? That argument, like we have, I don't know why people still discuss this. To be fair, like you're a smart person, you should get this right. If you have 200 systems within the same umbrella, yeah, there is potential for more crabbing there, but then not even Delve is utilized to the maximum, so that it doesn't really make a difference. But those 200 systems also give me a staging point to hit in the systems that are actually being utilized. So it's a double-edged sword, right? You have the more potential, but you also have more potential for the attacker to actually project from these systems.
To a point,
And
though.
getting
Only to a point.
It's just a much greater commitment for the pilot and the accounts that are involved than if
Yeah, and the
NPC
reward
space
is
is
greater.
available.
we are doing. I'm doing it. I
Is
have
it?
one
It's
account.
like the
For the
reward's
most
not
part,
greater, Sandrin.
Wait,
for
well, when
the
was the last time you
I had
went
one
to the
account.
Whichever one is
For the
whining.
most
Guys,
part,
I
I had
just
one
stopped talking
account.
about
That account was in. Wasn't locked off for a single day, and we managed to go under the staging umbrella afford it. Like saying that is super hard to do or setting up when blobses can literally conduit 30 people without using much fuel, don't have a lot of fatigue and stuff like this is just kind of ridiculous, to be fair. Like,
I mean, have you gotten super capital kills with those blobses?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
I will reimburse them if you need that.
So
why don't you just get a competent FC in Zungensig to do it for you? Why do you have to pay up
and
people?
I should stop the competent shit. Like both sides like have competent FCs, but there's a will there's an effort difference, and I don't think it's really good to homogenize space. Horde has put effort into getting that space, it claimed it as their own, and now they have a strategic advantage for some things and a disadvantage for other things. Space doesn't always have to be the same, right? It's not the main issue within the game that space is not the same all across EVE and that there is an imbalance in space. Actually, my point is geography should matter more, and we have tools in the game that completely break geography. Let's let it be filaments. I don't think that gin is back in the bottle, but we have the other tool that is of far more strategic importance, and that would be antiplexes. And I don't know why people avoid that topic, because we had a coalition fire going from the southeast to the northwest, getting pushed out basically by the same people, and the same people were bordering them, and there's no other place to go for them, and they just finally accepted to merge into one of the big blocks that were at their borders. Like, that is the discussion that should have been had and ages ago.
Yes,
Right, but
also ignoring that the same coalition that pushed them out just teleported to the south through a gate with a battleship fleet to bash Goonswarm on the opposite side of the map, right? Like,
The reason no one's talking about antiplexes is because we've all spent the last fucking 2 years complaining fucking constantly about it, and it still hasn't changed. People are just tired
Yeah,
of talking about it.
which is why we have
No
people
one
here in
here thinks
Casimir
they're
as
a
a
good
CSM.
idea.
Oh, but
Brisk
you, but
Bar would like to disagree.
Brisk is very
Brisk-
clear as a CSM member that projection is not an issue, and everyone's whining that projection is an issue, and Anzis should
We
not
have a
be nerfed. In
CSM
fact,
member
they should be
sitting right
buffed.
here, and like I don't know what you're discussing. This should be one of the major topics, and like this is one crystal clear moment where we can see the effect over the span of Fire Coalition and their eviction. Like it's such a case example.
I assume the CSM will try to do something about it, but the previous CSM was very much Anzis are not an issue. They need to be buffed. That was the previous CSM.
I think you're making a wild assumption either
think
way.
that's a
there.
gross
You're
overcharacterization.
making
it
a
is an
statement that
overgeneralization.
Brisk was happy with antiplexes and the projection they give. That doesn't mean everybody else was. or is.
Right. There's certainly, I mean, let's say though, there certainly is a faction, even within CCP, that sees projection as basically positive. It brings more fights. It gets people to the fights more quickly.
Which
is true. That is a fair statement to make.
To an
I don't
extent,
think
it
it's
is
true.
true.
I don't think there's more
That's not
fights because of Ansiplexes. I think there's more big fights because of Ansiplexes. I don't think there's just more fights in general.
Just the scale of different engagements have decreased, right? We have the really big fights with really many people in those fights. In max tie-dye, those have certainly increased, but at the same time, like the whole medium scale has completely vanished. We had a discussion in Spectre Fleet, I don't even think like 3 weeks ago, and there were FCs asking, if I get a 30-man fleet of T1 battlecruisers, where can I take them to get a fight? And through that whole channel, we were like going through the different examples, and we were all like, yeah, there's just no place for you to go. And that's what we had, or you have to
Shoot
put
the
tremendous effort into
MC
creating this.
Ansiplex, Gideon. That will definitely get you a fight. You should definitely go there right now and shoot it.
Yeah, with 30 battlecruisers to just get dunked by the 150-man fleet, yeah.
That's when you
There's
DM
just...
your friend Nada and you tell the Gavelsman to show up when they come in. Very balanced gameplay.
And we are back again, right, to the maximum scale, and we have nothing in between. Like all these medium scale fights that I just said vanished, you basically gave the prime example why they vanished.
Yeah, I was being a bit facetious. You're right.
Yeah, I know.
If you want to play the game, you should just move to Lusek, and you can play the game there.
I hear there's wonderful space at range of Rocket Pass for a low price.
I mean, we have set it on our doorstep. To be fair to them, we're actually going out and doing stuff. They've been
Lusek
sucking
is
on the
legit,
fucking
like-
the Nobre and Teat a bit recently, but like they're trying.
Losec is legit, like, very active recently. Like, there's many different groups of varying sizes all doing different things.
Yeah, I don't know,
Like,
bro. But most of those varying groups of different sizes are like blue to Shadow Cartel, and
yeah, they're all dog shit
like,
groups,
one
but
another.
at least they exist. Like,
Well, then also we do have Havoc coming out in what, like 2 weeks, a week and a half? Wait, not even
Not
that.
even.
Comes out on the
Can't wait.
14th, so Tuesday, like next Tuesday.
I heard a
And-
rumor that there was going to be a number of groups Redline deploying to the regions where you farm the epic arcs for one of the factions for that. Just a rumor, though. I'm not very informed.
I mean, why wouldn't you? That's where
Are
I
you
want
talking
to go.
about? Are you talking about Fire Gun the Curse, Johnny?
Oh, I heard it was a different coalition actually, but yeah, I'm just a newbie, and so.
What coalition going to curse?
Well, I don't want to like speculate too wildly on some kind of media podcast, you know. So gotta keep it close.
Yeah, well, that's fine. You don't have to speculate too wildly, just a little
It doesn't matter. It's every coalition going to curse, bro. They could get there in one jump.
It's the swamp.
Curse is going to be popping in about a month, is my speculation.
Space Florida.
Space Florida? That's amazing. So that, I mean, maybe that'll be a good thing though, right? And that'll make Zarzak a positive thing for the game. You know, getting
Yeah, dude,
people,
that sounds
getting
really awesome.
everyone there quickly, right?
Zarzak is interesting idea, tremendously bad execution.
And it's not gonna fix issues with nullsec, right? Like this seems to be more lowsec centric. I kind of.
I mean, it's just created a bunch of problems in Lusek.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah.
What, you're telling me you didn't enjoy getting attacked by 300 Russians from Faith Abelis?
No,
Only
I did not.
300?
Yeah, that was 250. Sorry. It's really
Are you
good
telling me
mechanic.
Dracarys didn't enjoy 2 Frat Marauder fleets and a Munin fleet teleporting through Zozak, the catch?
I mean, who
Say it ain't
wouldn't
so.
enjoy that?
I think we've barely gotten started. I think the Zach has
Yes.
barely been Zars'd yet, honestly.
And it moved every fleet in the north recently, and it showed up to, they go through Zarzak.
Why wouldn't you? It's
Yeah, why
amazing.
wouldn't you?
It's just easier,
It's
yeah.
super highway, right? Like I'm memeing a little bit, right?
But it's dumb.
Yeah, I
I
can't
mean-
wait till NPC Delve Space gets a gate, right?
NPC Delve isn't gonna get a gate to Zarzak.
We got Blood Raiders. What is this racism?
I mean, Blood Raiders have other stuff already, right? Like, Blood Raiders don't need a storyline.
You'll get the east to west gate, bro. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that would be awful.
They're gonna add a
I
supremacy.
mean,
would
with
be great
Ansiplexes,
wildlands.
it's only like what 11 or 9 jumps to get the Zarzak for goons.
No, it's
Yeah.
like 13, I think.
Are you in 1DQ right now, Cass?
Yeah, it's really far away, right? 13 jumps.
On a tune. Just
Set
set
Delsteed
Desto
Alsavonen.
to Alsavonen.
Not that's logged in. I think it's 13.
It is very not hard though.
Correct. And Curse is only a little bit farther.
Gosh, you guys are
Has it been announced yet where all the groups that are currently evacuating from the north are going to be set up in Imperium space?
Just Quarius, I think.
Brave is getting the IGC Quarius solve, I believe.
Is that the kind of northwest pocket inquiries, like the A2 Kyra connection?
Yeah, it's the stuff that's like
right by Kebbers, yeah.
Oh, we've had some great Kyra deployments. It's been fun.
I don't know where everyone else is going. I know Brave has repeatedly been asked in their Slack about stretching their legs, taking
So,
space and catch.
I do know this.
B2 is Blob is merging, right? Into
They're in Imperium, yes.
no, I mean not they're joining
Like,
Imperium, but I think
as an alliance.
they're dissolving. They as an
that's
alliance, okay.
Severance that is dissolving, I believe.
I am just saying.
I've heard conflicting reports on that subject.
Diva did this.
I put
Casimir,
I sorry
are you
for
looking forward to
Solana.
working with Badges?
Isn't he blacklisted? That's another question. Isn't he blacklisted in Goon's budget?
Are you happy to have War Eagle fleet back?
Oh goodness.
I was a War Eagle Fleet fan, TBH.
I don't know if you can say that.
Very diplomatic answer.
The Ministry of Truth will be correcting you in a minute.
I put a link in Cesspool. That is
Hold
the
on.
block. That's a random low sec. That's Gehi's Blops range in Aquarius, by the way.
So it's
What,
the
so
meat
you're
shield
going back to
part of Aquarius,
Gehi?
that's what we're saying, right?
I don't know. I just picked the first station system I saw in the Self Aquarius.
Oh, Gehi is super fun to do.
I hear if you
Go,
say Gehi 3 times, Brother Bob will come back and visit you in your sleep.
So in previous iterations, BFL has done 2 deployments to Kyra, which is like the low sec adjacent to A2 Aquarius, and it's a really fun place to attack Aquarius from. It involves like a reasonable amount of effort to actually set up and do properly, but it's a good time. And I would encourage anyone looking to do a mid-scale deploy to look at Kyra as a good staging option.
Will do, bro. Thanks.
What's Gordon's gonna show up
maybe
in Aquarius next and
You're
just
gonna
bully
find out
Brave?
that there's fucking nothing in Conid though, so bring shit with you if you follow Johnny's advice.
We moved secure bases Titan once from drones to Kyra in one evening. It was a journey.
One thing maybe to bring up is, I mean, mid-scale, you were talking is kinda, there's not a lot of options. But I think a lot of the war in the north was carried by BFL, which is a mid-scale group. I know they're like backed up by a big group, but the day-to-day stuff that BFL does is like also, I don't
You're
know.
not
I mean,
allowed to
they're
talk
getting
about stuff like that.
I think Headliner organized a tremendous campaign to have us. I think he did a really good job with this one and deserves like a lot of the credit for the outcome in this war, frankly.
I was told PL was dead.
To be honest, and you don't. The day-to-day stuff is not really what's important, right? It's the capability of
disagree,
escalation,
Daniel.
and you can't. Yeah,
What did you
that's
just
a little
say?
bit different.
I would disagree to some extent. To like as someone who's there like quite frequently, part of the reason I think the North fell is because we're putting very constant pressure on a certain constellation in
Yeah,
Declan. Literally every
I'm not
single
denying
day.
that. I mean about the characterization as BFL as a like a mid-tier group.
Okay, so
because you have the ability to escalate far more than other groups, right? And everybody knows
Yeah, I
that.
wouldn't say
like our form is very like, you know, if we're just casually playing, there could be like 10, 15, 20 dudes on comms that if we ping like, you know, this is the big one, all dreads log in, it could be 100.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I'm saying is
and you have the ability to outgrow even that, right? If you wanted, you can push support from
The most
your
people
alliance
I've
or
seen in our
coalition.
comms, which is like the 4A fight, the Big Dread fight in Pure Blind, or the Q5 one on January 1st this year, we had like
Yeah, but
hundreds of
you have
people.
a friendly fleet that is in other comms that you can call for, right?
Of course.
Let's not pretend you were not blue to fraternity.
Okay, that argument just doesn't work because every group can do that.
That's untrue.
Yeah.
Well, they can have
actually can't. So
Jordy,
who's
if you ask
not
a golden call,
I would
when
bring
you
me
get
out
bring me
separately.
256 of my
Question for
finest.
Jordy. When you guys form Jordy, when it's like a good form, how many people do you have on comms? Like actual human being? 30?
Like 30, yeah, 35 is I think our peak.
That's actual
and
mid-scale.
that's it, right? And that's it. And they have
Yeah.
they maybe they could communicate with our group, other groups, and maybe, but they don't have them on bad phone or blue all the time.
Jordy, are you
Like
going to
it's not
ask
gonna
Farah
happen
for
within
help?
10 minutes.
No,
It's
I'm
not
not
gonna
asking Farah for help.
no,
In fact, the
no.
opposite.
It's just an example, right? Yeah, we actually
Adisha
shot
gets
each other
headshot
not
every
long
fleet,
ago.
bro. It's happening from now until the end of time.
It's just, but we don't have the instant ability, right, to call for something like this. And there were groups within the
You
game
do
that used to
though.
have their own
You have
nonsense space
Discord.
that
You can
that
ping
couldn't.
someone on
You
Discord.
can
Say, hey,
ping
we want to
Mr.
come.
Johnny
You want to
Thrasher
come fight?
Snake.
Yeah,
Like
but I
that's
mean,
the,
is really
like
good.
that's the thing is everyone is coped out of their mind talking about how big these groups are. But the thing is you're talking like B2 didn't have access to goons for the better part of the last half of this war here. So like they have the same access that anybody in BFL did to a large group of people. That's just how
I'm
the
not
game
talking about
works.
goons in contrast to Imperium. I put them both into the same category. I'm talking about the dynamic that these even more independent groups like BFL within Horde has ability to do stuff
the
that no
dynamic-
medium scale alliance ever will have, and with projection that is going to be some.
Well, and whose
that
fault
is
is
always
that?
pushing some.
You choose to be a medium-sized group. If you want to have the same
is
response
Redline
as a
actually playing
large
devil's
group,
advocate for bat
hold
phoning?
up. If you
Yeah.
want to play with the large groups, you got to play like the large groups. That's how
don't
it
want-
works.
Mid-scale groups don't
That's
want
not
to
what
play
I'm
with
arguing
large
for.
groups,
That's
actually.
what I'm saying is there should be some distance in the game, literal distance that gives breathing room to people that don't actually want to live in these big blocks and that want to carve out their own space.
The last thing I want to do actually is have to engage with Horde or Goonswarm or I
What
don't
the
know,
fuck,
Fraternity.
Jordy?
God, Jordy, we're
I
very
thought we were
nice.
friends.
Very friendly people.
I'm sure
No,
you're
but like
friendly,
so.
your fleets are
Oh,
your
no,
fleets are
real
too
quick,
big,
real
bro.
quick.
Too strong, too girthy for me. I'm just a little kid down
The
here. in the south.
biggest when I was in Big Ab, the biggest actual amount of humans we had on TeamSpeak at one point was like 105, 106 that I can remember.
Big Ab's a
And we
terrible
had-
example because they're like 2014 NC dot. They can out
Yeah.
escalate like
Yeah,
literally
but-
every group on the map that isn't a block.
I assume number wise in EU, Nada Snuff is around the same. You max for him, you'll probably get 100, a little over 100 real people on comms, right?
Don't think Snuff gets 100 people in 2023. That's a speak for not.
Oh, you don't know the power of
I'd be
Abzad.
surprised if Snuff got more than like 65 to 70 people. But he seems to be AFK.
Oh, rest in peace, Nada.
I thought
Well,
Snuffed
I
Out
would
was
venture my
disbanded.
somewhere within- So something to think about too, right? Is like number of human beings versus number of characters in fleet is not like same for every group. And if your group's willing to fly 2 or 3 clients each per fleet, you should be more powerful in contest because it's way harder mechanically to fly a DPS and a Logi and a tackle than it is to just do one.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing I was trying to
that-
argue
that-
with is that the basic game mechanics still work. I mean, yes, you have to have a big group backing you up, but having 20 people harass yourself over and over and over again still is annoying as heck, and like a big part why they like left.
Right, this is sort of the point I wanted to make. That's part of why I referred to BFL as heavy hitters, right? It's a group that's known to be able to put out several accounts per human on the field in a way that is not sustainable for any given main fleet, right? So that makes an impact, and the fact that they have a very large bat phone and are on offense, right? That they're taking the initiative gives them a lot of freedom because there's not a lot of ways that they can be responded to without immediately invoking the bat phone, right? And the bat phone is the most established of all the bat phones, right? If some other group then goes and calls goons, then they get made fun of, oh, blue donut, blah, 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 and so on and so forth.
And that's the escalation cascade that I talked about earlier, right? Because like I know for a fact, and Johnny, you probably agree with this. Main Horde were not helping BFL 99.9% of the time. They didn't have access to the gates to get through, right? But then you are right that when Brave and B2 are forced to, well, not forced to, but choose to then backbone goons, right? That's when that cascade again kicks off, right?
Yeah, I mean there were
It's not a
definitely
secret.
there's definitely times too we took fights that were like super outnumbered during the campaign as well.
You
And
took
didn't get
5-2 January 1st.
Yeah, like at the Q5 BR, we had like 130 people against like 600 or something.
That fight ended basically a even, and it was 900 versus 300 for characters on grid. Like no main horde, no frat. It's just BFL only. But apparently, BFL outnumbered everyone in that BR according to certain people.
What I'm wondering is why goons have not adapted, and also, I mean, they have sick groups, but they're all dead, kind of, at least. That's from
Reavers,
what I see.
Rip, Freedoms, or
So
Liberty
to
Squad, Rip.
run a really high energy SIG group, you need like leadership who wants to play, like maybe not every single day, but you need someone who's around almost every day, who wants to do like a fleet, and some
You need like
casual stuff.
Kenlar.
Yeah, I mean we have headliner
Or
basically in the
Securitas, or Headliner, or Johnny. Or...
We have Sandrin now. He will lead us to victory because he's a
No,
winner.
I'm a military coordinator, so I am required to handle the main beans.
But all the groups that operate like that and have had success are basically dependent upon usually a pretty small number of dudes who can show up and run very high level fleets quite frequently. It's a lot of time and effort to get to that point as well. It's not just like you could snap your fingers and make the group happen.
But you have like Reavers, Liberty Squad, and like
I mean,
they
Spaceship
did
Violence.
things, and then
Goons have had some really
died.
good SIGs historically. Not sure what
And
the
they're
deal
all
is these
dead.
days. But like SV in like 2017 or 2018 was a very effective group, I would say.
Space Violence.
I think what's happened with goons is that everybody who is in that alliance, well, Casimir, except for Casimir wants to do stuff, but I don't think anybody else does.
Yeah, I don't
like,
think that military leadership
Hold
is
on, you
engaged
guys,
at all.
you guys are off your rocker.
Prove
have
me
been
wrong,
pretty
dude.
Busy. We've been pretty busy rebuilding the whole universe in a way that doesn't have 3/4 of it against us. And I think we've done a reasonable job, for God's sake.
But that's not playing the game. It's not shooting
Sure it
spaceships.
is. We've been playing the game the entire time. We've been shooting people the entire fucking time.
You?
And it is a sandbox,
But
right?
we
There are
lose
lots of
them. What the fuck?
I mean, like, I'm sure that your diplomats are very involved in the game, but I don't think your military leadership are involved at all. I don't think like any of them are like actually properly engaged with the content on the same level
if
as
our
other groups.
military leadership weren't involved, this war would have lasted 2 months and not 18. What conversation
Where was
are we
Asher
even
last
having
weekend
here?
when we were fighting over the iHubs and Deckline? Because
Hey,
he literally was watching football whilst Gobbins was
that's like
on
Three
grid
Kings,
fighting. Like,
Hey, by the way, guys,
the level
join
of
the
engagement
Strat
is
Op. I'm not going to be there.
the level of engagement is so vastly different from everything I can see. Like, Gobbins is literally on grid every time fighting, Norris is on comms every time fighting, and Asher is watching football. Zintage is in Pochman crabbing. Sniper Eagle 1 is probably flaming someone somewhere.
I mean,
these
it
people
doesn't-
aren't actually engaged.
The people they do have as well just aren't that good compared to what the games used to have. Like, you don't have Kenner anymore, you don't have Jay anymore,
Be
you don't have
nice.
Lux
You don't have to
anymore,
be mean
you
to
don't have
them.
Tibbs anymore, you don't have Laz
This
anymore.
is just. Are you guys done? I've listened to enough of this crap now.
Are you going to tell me Altar Aries like of the same
But-
caliber as like fucking Tibbs or Laz?
Casimir,
Whereas Zintage
the-
is up there with like Kenmar for like getting people involved.
You're welcome to come face them all on the field. We've been.
We would
gladly welcome them to Rakabas. We encourage them to come.
Oh my god, no one wants to go to Rakabas, dude.
I mean, he's literally had Altari had a slideshow. Why not go to Rakabas?
All I'm saying is,
Did
you
you?
guys
Are you
are
saying
trying to
how
make
long
out-
did it take for the BFL and Frat to take a system?
Yeah. My point is that these
Were they
clowns
trying?
are trying to make out like goons are some sort of inactive alliance here, but actually we punch pretty much above our weight class, facing
You had
down
more
both
people than us.
FRT and PanFam.
You had more people than
But
us.
remember the B. Asher
You
saying we
literally
were
had more
fighting
people than
uphill, and
us.
the BR is like 200 people in favor.
I will
Goons.
send
I'm
you the
moderately lost on the
spreadsheet.
timeline, right? I was under the impression that it was BFL and Fraternity fighting against B2, I guess you would call them, for the
Yeah,
majority
without
of those
Fire.
18 months,
Yeah,
right?
and
Without
Yes.
Fire.
That's-
Prior to
that's
Fire
right.
joining. And
I
then
know it
Main
was-
Horde and Goons both came up, like, I don't know, 9 months or so?
No,
8
Fire,
months into
Fire
that?
joined before that, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, Fire came up. That's different, I think. I'm just curious when Main Horde and, like, Main Goon, I guess, got involved. Because my understanding was that it was B2 and BFL fighting
If
in
I
the
remember
UTZ for
the
a vast
timeline
majority of
That
the time.
that is accurate. I was exaggerating. Right, we deployed the first time in March. I forget the exact
I
date.
was gonna say, if I remember correctly, Goons pinged first, then Horde pinged, and then Goons got Mad Horde pinged. Saying we pinged first. That was the very first, like, both main groups
I
showing
think
up.
one of the key moments was Goons forming like 3 hack fleets to come defend Fortizar and Venal.
HSAC PA was.
That was very early, right?
It can't be
That was
understated
still
how-
in Deepwater was under contract, I thought, by
Yeah,
Fraternity.
they weren't under contract, I think.
I think it
Or
was
they were
slightly
at the
after,
end
but it
of
was
it.
very early on.
It was very early, yeah.
I think the HTAC PA fight kind of put a bit of a punch in that started to heat up the whole
I
situation.
agree with Daniel. Goons
What did
losing
Daniel
Delta
say?
Squad was the downfall of Goons.
Liberty Squad was great too. Back in 2019, I think.
I don't think goons have experienced a downfall though, is the thing. I think they're still fine. They just don't Casimir, you guys don't do anything offensively like on your own, like deploy your own groups to somewhere that someone isn't already. You know what I mean?
So
Well, I
okay,
mean,
so I found it.
you've got to think about that quite a lot, though, right?
The HPA fight happened December 3rd, 2022, which is very early on in this.
It is a bit. It's earlier on because I think Kaz is right. Goons deployed in. Yeah, I think it was.
There is 1,200 people on Greed's Hell that died.
07.
Greed is a good man.
I think it set a
Greed
tone
beer.
though, didn't it? That was the point with HTAC. Yeah, it set a tone that all of a sudden it's like, well, that these guys will backbone goons and goons will turn up on mass, right? Which is again that slow, escalation point.
Greed tanked for a long ass time with triple DDA fit in that storm.
I mean, I think we were feeding faxes into that tank.
Yes, it was a meat
From
grinder of
memory.
faxes
Like
whilst
it
the
wasn't. He
fight
didn't
happened.
tank. It was fax tanked. It was.
So what was
It
tank?
was literally 1,000 hacks that wasn't it shooting him, like actually 1,000 hacks in the BR.
Mike.
Yes, something like that. But what was the goon perspective of that early conflict, like going up there and engaging in large timers? Was it seen as like, I don't know, necessary, I guess, because BFL got hired and was adding 100 or so paladins in EUTZ, or was it more of like an expectation that main horde were going to get involved? I'm just curious why goon main effectively got involved and turned it into
a clusterfuck.
the scenario you
A
end
block
up
war?
seeing unfolding. Yeah, especially considering a lot of their posters, at least on Reddit, if they're being genuine, which I doubt, seem surprised, I guess, that it occurred and then they lost. Like they don't see themselves as a participant, even though we're sitting here and it sounds like they very obviously were, pretty closely for an extended amount of time.
There's a lot of stuff that you said all at once there,
Yeah,
Jody.
I'm really baked and having trouble.
Yeah, sorry. I'm
following
just
it.
curious, like when goons became invested, I suppose, in the war in the North, considering they've been there for some time, or like why they felt the need to be invested.
It was the war on renters.
Yeah, I mean that was the initial thing, right?
No, I think the fact that we interpreted Winterco's aggression as they just need more rental space, as opposed to their prosecuting of grudge against Volta, right? So that is an element there, and then but the bigger element is saying, hey, these guys are fighting PAPI. We used to fight PAPI. We don't want to see them just get mown over. And it seemed like that's what was happening. They were quickly getting exhausted. So I think those two things do flow together into how we got invested
They were
in it. Right?
in no threat of losing anything though, but before Horde Main showed up, B3 with fire there was much bigger than BFL plus Frat EN. Like there was zero risk they were going to lose anything. Then Goon showed up, so then if Horde
No,
showed up,
they had lost a constellation in Pureblind and already relocated some of their
And then they lost
Sav at
2
that
systems
point.
in Pure Blind. I think we held the rest of it already from memory. I think.
Well,
they
and-
definitely lost X-47 and the other one at the other end of the constellation.
Right, they had lost, at least a couple of systems. I thought it was a whole const, but more importantly, there were several keep stars in what was still Brave space, and those ended up being our target in March. Right, those all died, and the X-47 keep star is a new one that got put down when we left in the spring. So those being placed there either in NPC or in Brave Sav were inviting targets, as it were.
You're right, but like keep stars don't
Did
really
nothing?
change anything. Like they were fucking like morale meme keep stars that were dropped. One was dropped
Especially
by
FN.
fucking Mav, whatever.
I understand, yeah.
That was
funniest thing to
he
me is
misaligned it on the wrong grid.
How did Mav manage to sell it to Nereus is what I want to wonder. Like, it was dead the second it got dropped, and everyone knew it. It was literally a meme star done for content
I
and
can
for
ask
broke.
him right now if you want. I'm chatting to him.
Uncle's a very generous man. That's all I'm
I'm
gonna
pretty sure he's
say.
listening, so he'll DM me the answer, I'm sure.
I'm 99% sure Mav is listening.
I remember having a conversation with Matt about this where he was joking about it before I dropped it, and I was saying to him, like, you could just time it for CN, right? And he was just like, oh my god, you're right! But yeah, I've got no idea what he said to Norris to get them to defend it.
Mav. The FN,
He's
the
a fun
Nanostar was
gamer.
great.
So what changed so drastically in those keep stars being killed in the early parts of this year and now, where it seems like Goons and B3 were convinced that they couldn't contest Horde with capitals like whatsoever?
I mean,
Fortac A happened.
Fortac A happened, and I think Brave, specifically Brave, right? Like, I think for a lot of time, Brave carried a lot of B2, and in their defense, they had gone from a position of moving in catch to moving to Quarius, to be evicted from Quarius, trying to move into Geminate, been evicted from Geminate, right?
They
Like,
left
it
Geminate. They
takes,
chose to leave Geminate.
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, under harassment.
They
Yeah,
self-evicted
under
themselves.
harassment, right? So to give them, and I will give them some credit, right? It can only take so much time of having your stuff ground away before you don't have the resources, whether that's physical resources or ISK, to carry on without imploding.
Or
right?
morale.
Or morale is, I'm classing morale as a resource, right?
Then why do they keep going back to nullsec? Like, if you can't compete with Tissue, what makes you think you're going to be able to compete with like Volta, who are on the doorstep, or Fraternity, who are on the other doorstep? Like,
Well,
they're
because they
playing the
keep
wrong part of the game.
trying. They want to keep trying. Because
Well, no
eventually they'll
surprise.
get better and maybe they'll win.
But
Will
they've been
they?
trying for decades, and they
Maybe.
haven't.
Like, this is where I get on
Is
my
it really the
soapbox about
same
how
they
dogshit
know?
shattered armor is.
It
like,
isn't. That alliance has gone through so many generations.
Yeah, of course it's not. It's the same, like, the Goon Swarm that was trying to survive as a within the NC in 2010 was radically different than the one that had Delve in 2009, even just in terms of people playing. Like, yeah, there are some of the same people, but as a whole, as a group of people that acts, it's a radically different entity, right? The leadership changes. So there's some through line, but with an alliance, especially one that's lost space that many times, there's such an amount of turnover. I think they become more or less new organizations.
Shattered Armor is a very bad military director and keeps making horrifically tragic military choices, which is what constantly leads to Brave getting evicted. There's also like an almost cultural problem within Brave, where as soon as someone else comes to help them with something, their members just completely stop logging in and seemingly lose the motivation to contribute. Like, I'm pretty sure Misty was saying earlier about how they were forming, like, multiple full fleets on their own towards the start of the war, and now it's
I mean,
like
they did
80
defend
people
the
on
DO6.
a big fight.
I mean, they did to defend the DO6 Keepstar, right? Like, I
Yeah,
think
but
there was like 2 or 3
the
brave
once
fleets, but the numbers
the
are
once
there.
every couple months battle isn't where you need those numbers. It's every day, and they used to be able to form that like pretty regularly, and now they're not.
Well, their main FC stopped pinging, right? Like, for a period of time, Shattered Armor was like completely gone. So I presume that's where their numbers went.
And I think Shad was
I mean,
away
that's
from
all.
the
That's
game,
another.
right?
Well,
He
and
wasn't
That's another
not logging
cultural
in,
problem,
he was
isn't
actively
it?
away.
If you can only get good numbers under one FC, like that's a problem. Like that's not a thing.
They
in
don't
Horde.
have the same pool of players, right? Like, if I look into Brave, how many people do I know by name that have FC there for a while?
Yeah, but like, let's say
You
for
can't
Horde,
blame a group
it
for
doesn't
like
matter who
Brave.
the FC is. It's still going to get 2 full fleets and a third overflow fleet. It doesn't matter who the FC is. Like that's a cultural issue.
Like, if you're fine with Shattered Armor, like FCing you, you're obviously not picky.
I don't think that's
Fair
necessarily
point.
true. They might not have anyone better, but you can still be picky. Like, there's always going to be tiers of people.
It's
within
not
a group,
about
even
how
if
good
Shattered
people
isn't
are. It's
like
also
objectively.
name recognition, right? Like there's a vast difference. If somebody is new to FCing, he might actually be a good FC. And I've had that when I joined from like Evictus to TRC. And I was a new FC there. That's a very different environment that you have to have some reputation before people start joining your fleets. And that is true for every fleet, right? If I ping inspect that
I
fleet
don't
when I
think
was
that's true
FCing
for
there for the
every
start,
fleet.
you need some
Can
reputation as well.
you talk about Provi at all, Gideon? I'm very curious about Provi right now. I've seen some big BRs the past week or 2 down there.
What specific part are you interested in? Like,
Well, I saw
I have a
some
grasp.
I saw some forts dying, and there was some caps dying, and then I saw Kikamura fleet
I'm
got
fairly
pinged, doing over
curious
cleanup.
about the sides, or like who's involved.
Yeah,
in
who's
that necessarily.
involved?
I only know that
Okay.
Red Alliance and like Shadow
Okay.
Cartel and Tri are fighting someone.
Yeah, that is all sideline stuff. You have You had RC taking over Providence from CBA, right? That was when I was still seeing there. Red Bomb was still there with Shadow, everybody. Providence got evicted, and then you have the group of TRC that has significantly shrank since then. Like they went from their combined force were like 4,000 members. They're down to like 500 now, and I don't think they're as active as they used to be. So you have a shrinking TRC alliance, and the structures dying are these structures from TRC at the moment that were in the RC block that are now getting evicted, and CVA is returning, killing these structures, and CVA is friendly with Red Alliance, and Red Alliance gets the support of ex-RC members that still have a grudge for some reason, how are they called, Sigma Grindset, that come to project from Imperium, and then you have sometimes Goon Swarm helping Red Alliance as well for these timers or Tracaris. So at the moment you have CVA plus Red Alliance are the locals that are getting helped by the Imperium, and you have TRC plus RC that sometimes gets help from Triumvirate. It's a little bit complicated, yeah.
It seems like the likely outcome there is that, well, and you can already see it on the map, I suppose. Like Red Alliance and CVA will just claim off there and be nominally friendly.
It's
with
basically an intention of Imperium, and
yeah,
because it is Red. There's no way Red Alliance feels comfortable enough on their own to drop a Keepstar in the current meta in ERVK. They know they will get. They know they get the support from at least Imperium or Dracarys or somebody. They have something going on there. They would never drop the structure just on their own. And that was just like a couple of months ago, like
Mifune
2 to 3
made
months
a
ago.
Reddit post saying that Horde is the new CFC.
We're killing the game, baby.
If you're not with us, you're against us.
and I guess I'm kind of missing who Red Alliance's remaining hostiles would be with that amount of support.
TRC plus RC, so that would be Perpetual Warriors, HTP, Honorable Third Party, and Triumvirate TRC. So that's the adjacent low sec. It's not really the null sec right there. It's the camel people, right?
Triumvirate is allied with Red Alliance. And they're hostile in Provi? That's kind of crazy.
They sometimes, yeah, it goes over some corners sometimes. There's some beef apparently between some Tri leadership and CVA leadership, so they're like shooting each other. Like there's a lot of people started in Providence, right, including myself. And there is, from past evictions and past fights, there is still some hostility that is sometimes taken over to other leadership roles somewhere else that don't seem connected at the moment, but that has history in the past. Like some of the old leadership chats are kind of funny if you see some leaks from them.
Old grudges sticking with people when they move organizations. Sandra, you should tell us about that.
Which one would you like to hear about?
I can't even remember like how long it's been that you've been just spending all of your effort digging on Brave.
I love shitting on Brave. At this point, it's not even about the grudge. It's just because of the way they respond to being shit on. Like, they are such whiny little rats that it is so fun to bully them and then watch their Slack for reactions. It brings me great joy.
Yo, I'm pogging out again, Luke.
I think
Very
most of those problems are categorically
that?
self-imposed problems.
I'm pogging again. Screenshot.
Okay.
Brave.
I would be inclined to agree. It sounds accurate.
Yeah, they seem to have a long history of making pretty poor leadership decisions.
Like, when you step on your own dong nonstop, you can't make fun of the guy across the room for doing it.
My favorite Brave moments when they got Loki's nerfed because they were being harassed by them.
Good old Dunk Dinkle.
What an awful person.
Well, I don't think Dunk Dinkle's that awful of a person.
I think it's pretty awful when you make fun of someone's mental health state live on a YouTube video for your entire alliance to see. I think that's pretty bad.
And see, I watched that, and I don't think that's what happened in there. But I don't have the strength to argue with you about it.
It may not have been his intention, but it was the result that he created.
I didn't intend to kill that person, but I killed them.
Well, yeah,
that's
I wouldn't compare it to killing.
Yeah.
I would say it was an accident that anyone with 2 brain cells could have seen coming.
Like, I accidentally said a slur on Twitch and got banned for 7 days.
You said it, not me.
That was B3's fault.
Huh? What? What?
That was B3's fault for. Are you not talking about Ziggum?
No, I didn't say anything about anybody. What do you mean?
Yeah, he said this. He said a slur and got banned on Twitch, and then he blamed it on B3.
Yeah, and see,
Real as fuck for that one.
So we are getting kind of to the tail end of the show, and I did want to mention though, you guys really got to stop trying to out cancel each other. It's getting exhausting.
I'm the only one that's good at it.
I don't believe in canceling.
I mean, that's good. I'm glad, Jordy. If you did,
Fuck
you'd
did
probably be
Evie just
screwed.
ping me with?
I don't know.
Some people just like the feeling of having Asher's hands shoved so far up their ass that they get controlled like Muppets.
Oh, jeez. Well,
like
I did. The reason I mentioned that though is just because I know Gideon was talking earlier about like botting and RMT and all that kind of stuff, and how every alliance has it. But like, sometimes people take it a little too far. You know, they bring it outside of the video game into real life.
Do you
And
mean,
that's
for
just
example, saying that Chinese should go back to their server because they have a cancer botting gamer culture?
yeah, exactly.
As
Stuff exactly like
ethnicity,
that.
for example? Yeah.
What about Mr. Rocket X saying, trying to help John Molester cover it up? Cover up his online identity?
Or perhaps about making fun of someone's dead dog.
I mean, yeah, but now we're going back to the out canceling each other kind of thing, and that's not what I mean. I think everybody should just chill and be relaxed, like Johnny. Right, Johnny?
Sorry, I'm trying to drop on a brave carrier right now. 1 second.
Oh,
It doesn't
no.
sound very relaxed.
That doesn't sound very relaxing at all.
He's sitting in something that is not a fresher. He feels uncomfortable.
He's in a Falcon.
I'm in a Falcon, another Falcon, and
Yeah, that's why you're
another Falcon,
uncomfortable.
and another Falcon.
Yeah, it's not a fresher, right? So you're uncomfortable.
I think we're about to see a kill pop.
I would love to see a kill mail pop up. I would also love to tell you guys that I got my joysticks hooked up.
Is that some kind of sick euphemism?
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
that's what I was wondering. So
I bought some joysticks so I could play Star Citizen better. You know?
Why are you playing that game?
Why wouldn't I play that game? It's a
It
good
actually
game.
looks pretty good now.
It's a good game. It's fun.
Do you guys want a live commentary on us dropping this noob carrier?
Yes, give it to us.
You screen
Please.
share it.
No, because my spile's on it, unfortunately. Sorry. I have like 12 clients open, so you'll see a bunch of my ults that I don't want to be seen.
That makes sense. No, but yeah, I've been asked a question. Misty, where's the question?
Cesspool?
Brother in Christ, it's right above my message.
Is the argument that we shouldn't be held accountable for dropping homophobic slurs? No, that is not the argument.
He's saying it has nothing to do with Zigum and generally just how nullsec politics has turned into various forms of virtue signaling about how other groups are bad for the game.
Yeah. It's exhausting. It's exhausting and should stop. Just keep your stuff to end game. It's all fine. But then I did mention the joysticks. I got 2 Thrustmaster joysticks. I'm about to play Star
You're really not
play the
making
shit
it
out of
better.
Star Citizen.
Like, that definitely sounds like
This
a
does
technical
sound
red
sus.
line.
I'm
This does sound a
sorry.
little sus.
Why don't you play like Star Wars Squadron or literally anything other than a game that's not out yet?
I mean, I could play that too. That's the thing, is that I can use the joysticks for any kind of space game that I want to play. I actually wanted to see if I could play Eve with them. I don't know if I could, but
You
wanted to
probably
try.
can
That's
in
in
first
camera
person,
mode, dude.
Yeah, I know, but I'd have to set up the hotkeys to like move my ship left and right, and it sounds kind
Yeah,
of
it's pretty
jank to
easy.
try.
You just need to remap WSD, or you have to remap the arrow keys to the joystick motions.
Yeah, but then how am I gonna like rotate? You know, pivot.
You can't rotate in first person mode.
See, that's the problem. I need to be able to spin. I need to be able to spin.
What?
It's not a dogfighting game, Redline.
Star Citizen absolutely is a dogfighting game.
I am aware of that.
Eve isn't. You're right. It should be. There should be a dogfighting Eve game. That should be a part of Vanguard.
There was Valkyrie and it's dead.
Valkyrie and got cancelled.
Yeah, that was Valkyrie. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
We're about to smoke this carrier, boys. It's gonna be great.
All right. You got to give us a live update. Give us a play-by-play.
Right. He's in bubbles. He's in bubbles.
Stream it.
Is he tethered?
He can't stream.
No, I can't stream. It has my alts open, including my alts.
What type
We
of
need
carrier is it?
information officers, Johnny.
I just saw a lot of Minmatar cruisers of a variety warp off of a place in DO6.
Uh-oh.
So I assume the carrier is about to die.
Is it in DO6?
We're bridging out of DO6, that is correct.
Oh, out of. Okay.
Alright, we're bridging on this Nidhugger class carrier in RQH.
Oh, and there they go.
He's tackled.
In
Yep, look what
RQH,
just
he's even
dropped.
saying the system live on stream.
Amazing.
He's tackled.
I mean,
It's not really secret.
I've applied damage to him. He's gonna fucking die.
gonna die before anyone could actually do anything, anyways.
Fuck him up, Johnny!
My Sinistral Field is tanking despite getting shot by fighters.
Even before it was elaborate bait.
I can
No, it
cannon up
wasn't.
if they want to. We'll just log in Triage and Dreads. Roll it out. He's eating shit. We're gonna smoke him. Death to Brave. Brave to the grave. Oh, it's not even Brave, dude. It's fucking Absolute Order.
Oh no,
Oh,
cancel,
of
cancel,
course it's
cancel,
the
cancel.
It's renters.
Wait, there's the Volta Renters. Those guys.
Yeah,
No.
we're shooting the Volta Renters, not Brave. My mistake.
They don't have renters.
Hey, wait, because you're shooting renters, if you feed anything, Kazini will SRP it.
It's true.
That is not. That is whack. That is a whack misinterpretation of my offer. Let's not repeat that.
What, you don't want to SRP people that die in the
Formally-
line of duty of killing renters?
Formally, my offer is for skulls from the drone lands. That's any pirate
I killed
capital
someone's
or
Gun's
super
blocks
capital.
the other week. Can I get SRP?
No.
Can I collect money for the
Oh.
FRT Titans and Supers we've killed?
Yeah, how retroactive can we get here?
I mean, we've killed some during the duration of the war. We've killed more Titans than both sides put together. Where's our money?
I mean, we're not in the drone lands, right?
Right, exactly. This is drone lands offer.
Yeah, but there are a bunch of drones, right?
I don't know about you, but Goons
Oh,
killed that
no.
Aishi Titan in 6-star CQ.
How's the
Real
carrier
well.
doing?
We've
How's
slain the carrier.
doing?
He's dead, just like Brave saw.
Dab, 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 dab.
Dab, 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 dab.
I
Gotta
mean,
get
it looks
the
like
kill
most
now.
of Volta's.
Isano even lived. Now it can go back to FN where it lived.
Hey, is anyone close to like a drop or anything right now?
What do you mean?
I think Johnny was.
The drops for Twitch, the Twitch drops.
Oh.
Because we're about to wrap it up, and I don't want anyone to miss out.
How close? I need 85%.
I don't know. How do I check
2 hours
that?
right now.
You go to
15.
top right hand side, and there should be notifications, and it should say if you have one, and then
Hey, this
just
Naglfar just jumped to a beacon somewhere.
Yo.
Oh no,
Yeah,
find
This
the
is where we
beacon.
hear Johnny lock in another Sino and drop again.
Naglfar just jumped to F-Deck
Where's
beacon.
this?
I don't know.
it should be in your notifications if you've got any, and then you just click on those, and it'll bring up the inventory page. Alternatively,
He
just
wasn't
right
in a
click.
fleet when he
right
jumped.
click
Is all I'm
on
Just
saying.
remember, there are liberated blob pilots currently jumping to the X-47 Keepstar. You can
If you-
identify them because they go on tether.
You can identify them because their caps are not exploding.
Yeah, but when a man
exactly.
declines my fleet invitation and then jumps in the same moment, I'm
He did not join a fleet and jump because he would have been session changed.
we're very curious.
That was an X-47, sadly.
I'll kindly ask them to jump to X-47 instead. Thank you.
I may or may not be vibing and waiting.
Yeah, you keep getting upset though, right? Because you see fleets that go to X-47 and just walk to the Keepstar.
I'm in the technology. I'll put it in a cesspool. The technology.
I don't like that fit. Is that the broadsword fit or is it something else?
It's a ultra sword.
Okay. I like that fit.
Well, guys, do you want to offer any final thoughts to the stream before we part ways?
AKC is open to payments to not shoot at you when you arrive in Delve V3. If you wish to discuss payment for these agreements, you can contact myself.
I gotta go to
Lowland
some
Dragon.
of those fleets.
Also, if you do not want to make the trip to Delve, message Lucanon, Norris, or Gobbins for a golden ticket.
I've also got a thought from Mav. He sends his regards, and also wants to say, "Brave as shit, good riddance."
Johnny.
Hey,
I have a freighter.
I'm probes coming.
Okay.
Now,
Thank you.
see,
Thank you.
this is the kind of content you can only get from being up in the Northwest.
Okay, he's bubbled.
Oh, God.
I'll just move over to Ezekiel now and format it by freighter.
So anyways, any other final thoughts for us
I'm
today?
getting probes out and getting on grid. Way there in like a minute.